Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV, the What's Going On podcast. If you're new, please smash that like button, subscribe, and listen on that road, on that journey to 1K. And I can see already there's people in the chat, and I will be going through that in 1 second. Big up to everybody. Smash that like button if you are new. And yeah, guys, we've got a lot to talk about this weekend. Fixtures have gone. Listen, light work. If anybody see my Insta post, home and away. You know, anybody that program? I know Suge has heard of that program. He's not in the chat, but Suge has heard of that program, home and away. This is what we do to Tottenham. These guys did not turn up yesterday on Sunday, mate. On Sunday, they did not turn up. And listen, it was a pressure game, not going to lie. I remember speaking about it on the Bruised Banana, and I was saying, mate, it could be a banana skin, possibly a draw with Tottenham, new manager bounce, the stadium. Do you know what I mean? These guys wanted us to stop us from winning a Premier League. And they just didn't turn up, guys. They absolutely didn't turn up. Yes, they've got a lot of injuries, but this Tudor to do or not to do, that is the question. They did not answer the question. That's the thing, people. They did not answer the question. But listen, I'm going to stop rambling on. I've got Big D in the back office, so I'm going to bring him in now. Hopefully he'll have his camera on by the time I bring him in. Big D, what you saying, bro?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, bro?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Time just went, bro. I was trying to be domesticated, and I went, look at the time, brother. So, yeah, man, it's one of them.
Yeah, man. How you doing, though? How you doing?
Yeah, doing all right, Norms.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Good to have you on, man. Thanks for making time and stuff like that.
Yeah,
hopefully, I'm not too sure what's coming on. Chile might not even show his face. He might be in the chat. He might not show his face after that mauling. I don't even know if you would even call that a North London derby, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say? He didn't have that kind of kick. But listen, we had to just play what was in front of us, and we slapped them duly, mate. Yeah, Eze, now that's 5 goals. He likes playing against Tottenham. Big D. He loves playing against Tottenham. You know what I mean? For me, personally speaking, I don't think he should have been taken off. But look, we will get to that, and when we speak about the game and that, and obviously your team's still going strong. Still haven't lost in 2026. Michael Carrick at the wheel. Will he stay at the wheel? That is the big question. Do you know what I'm saying? And all those redundancies now are paying off, Big D. You're making a lot of money for your company now for Man United, and yeah, man, all is forgiven. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, you have to look at if he's put people in poverty just for his own gain. You have to look at that as well.
Especially, listen, look, I'm not laughing at the fact that they are redundant. Let's make that clear. They're talking about, even with them not even being in the Champions League, which this favours you right now because, listen, you've only got 1 game a week. You're out of all competitions, and you're moving up that table. And Sesko, the fastest man in Europe.
He got some jets on him, hasn't he?
He's got some jets on him, brother. I'll tell you, that game, D, we'll talk about that game. That game, man, the football was bad.
Yeah,
they couldn't string 2 passes together, bro. They could not string 2 passes together, man. And I'm sure we will go into that and that top 4 fight. But just before we actually go into, let's just let you know, guys, people in the chat, let's let you know what's on the menu tonight. And we always be talking about the Prem and the player ratings. We'll be looking at certain games and how it's affected them this weekend. The relegation fight, listen, that's going on big time. Then you got the race for top 4. Then you got the middle. And then you got who's going to get it over the line come May. Let's see what happens. But yeah, so that's that. A little bit of ref watch. If there's any controversy in any of the games that you saw this weekend, we will be talking about that. And obviously a big question I'm going to pose to you, D, and if Chile's in the chat or if he wants to come on, we'll call him out. You know why we do that? We call him out. Does these Spurs players have the fight or the minerals to get out of this relegation fight? And I'm telling you, when you look at the next few games, guy, it's going to be tough. Can you imagine if that stadium going down there and playing the likes of them championship sides? That's crazy. And I'll tell you what, it's not going to be easy to get out of there. Do you know what I'm going to say? And listen, who can get them out there? Can Tudor not to do? Can he get them out of there? Yeah, he's coming. He was supposed to be this manager that was going to come in, and he normally does well getting these guys out of a problem. He didn't really do anything. He didn't really answer any questions. There was no manager bounce or new manager bounce. Do you know what I mean? You've got Van der Ven ignoring him when he's telling him to move up and that. Disrespect from, Van der Ven. I think he's the captain as well, if my memory serves me right. And then even the same thing he did, him and Jed Spence, the previous manager, Thomas Frank. But nothing seems to have changed, and it's Spurs. It's what they do. Yeah. It is the history, as I say, it's the history of the Tottenham. You know what I mean?
You also, Norm's got to look at the medical team. They've got a heck of a lot of players that have been injured for a very long time.
I think something like 13.
What's really going on there? What's really going on there? You know what I mean? Do they want to play?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's something like, if I'm Chile, that's something I'll question about the club. Like, why is it taking so long to get the players back? Especially when the technology, we know what technology they have in terms of they recover way quicker from injuries than any normal human being because of the technology.
Too many injuries. Many injuries. I mean, on top of the injuries, but the same things, like these Spurs have had loads and loads of managers, and it hasn't made no difference. They've had top managers. Who are Spurs? What does Spurs want? I can't fathom them out. They've had top managers, they've had mediocre managers, they've had managers that heard of. You've had Ange, you know what I mean? High line mate, and all of that. And it still hasn't made. He's called them out in the overlap. You know what I mean? They don't act like a big club. And
but yet he won something with them. That's the joke, isn't it? He came, he won. He said what he was going to do. He said it. He said, "I always win in my second year.
Always win in my second year." He done it,
and he done it, and they canned him. So for me, Ange has a right to talk because he came there and won a European trophy. So he can talk as much as he wants, in my opinion. That doesn't mean the Tottenham fans are going to like it, but that's life, isn't it? He made a bed, and I think once he got there, he realized the club wasn't as big as he was told it was in terms of the way they want to operate and do business. And like he said, he identified so many players that went to other clubs. That means he was right in the way he was identifying players, but they didn't want to pay that money. So
and that's the
like
problem.
That's
the problem. Daniel Lee,
big stadium.
Yeah, lovely stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
it doesn't reflect, does it? Doesn't reflect the football.
I call it the toilet bowl, and we went there and dumped on them. Simple as,
Exactly, man.
That's what it is, mate. Yeah, Chelsea dropped points again at home to Burnley in a relegation fight, and it doesn't help when they get yet another red card. I think this is their now 6th red card of the season, 6 or 7 red card of the season. And they've drawn 9 games, and dropping points at home yet again under Liam Rosino. Listen, Liam Rosino, he's got a good, in terms of his record. I mean, he's matched the record. I think after they beat, I think it was Wolves in all comps. I think they won. Was it 8 or 9 games? It was matching Mauricio Sarri. Was it the previous Italian manager that was managing them? It's not really good. It's not really good that they're dropping points, and you've jumped above them now, 3 points ahead of them for that Champions League spot. Listen, there's 5 places, but they want to finish high, but they can't keep dropping points, especially like they drop points to Leeds. Teams and they're not supposed to drop points. They take an early lead. Do you know what I mean? So if Eds is about and he jumps on, you can explain why his team is doing that. But before we go into the conversation, I just want to recognize people in the chat. Big up to Gavin, first one in. Big up to you every time, mate. Just saying big up to myself. Kouaja, the Perez of the mods and my chat. Big up to Norm Ski panel in the chat. Good evening, everyone. And welcome back, mate. Subscribe to Norm Ski. And just Gavin just saying big up to Kouaja. Kouaja just sending back love, you know what I'm saying? 3 lights up. Let's get those lights up. There's 10 in the building. Let's get those lights up. Big up to Jay Lux, man. Big up to you every time. And Gianni, big up to you, man. My Italian brother, it's from Chicago. Listen, I think it's Chicago. Listen, don't. Listen, we had a great time the other night on Lee Gunner's channel, and he's doing bits on his channel. Please go over and subscribe to Gianni, doing some fantastic work there, putting in the work, and that's what we want to see. Please, if anybody can put his link in the description, in the comments section, that would be absolutely great. So just saying big up, and it's just saying big up to J Lux and Kouaja. Kwaja, right on the ball there. Right on the ball there. Big up to you, Kwaja, every time. And also he's put in Gianni's one as well. Big up to Gianni every time from Kwaja. J Lux just sending it back to my brother. Salute every time, Gavin. Saying big up to J Lux. J Lux, Kwaji, thank you. Always G. Kwaja, half time. Atalanta 2. Whoa, Borussia Dortmund. Wow. That's what you know what? You know, we could possibly, I don't know, in our run into getting into this Champions League knockout stage, we could possibly face, I think Dortmund by Leverkusen. Who's the other team? I mean, who's it? Bodo Glimt slaps Inter Milan, knocked them out.
Yes, yesterday.
Yeah, Bodo Glimt.
The thing is, a few years ago, you never even heard of that team.
No, I'm saying we played them in the Europa League. they beat Man City a couple of weeks ago in the group stages. You know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? So I don't
very organised.
I don't know if I want to meet them. Look at that line, bro. You know what I mean? They look kind of dangerous, you know what I'm saying?
I don't even know who the manager is there, Norm. I should have researched that before I came on.
Who's that? Bodo Glimt?
Bodo Glimt.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lee Gunner was bigging him up. I can't remember his name, but if anybody knows his, I'm sure everybody can put it in the chat. What is?
And he's probably going to be a known manager that's just doing bits, well organised, knows how to shuffle the pack and coach well and adapt.
Yeah,
and that's what you're asking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Even gents, big up Normski and Deep Week D, just from Junior. Big up to you, man. Junior. BBK, what you say, brother? Big up to you, man. Every time they changed the venue, couldn't change the menu. You know the way, bro.
Then me and you, mate.
hey, over the way, man. That's what we deal with them, Taron. That's what we deal with them. Over the way. Yeah, we just slap them, brother. Yeah, it's just home from home, D, for us. Yeah, and listen, they've lost. I think they've lost. What is it now? I think 8 games at home. 8 games at home, bro. So that's why I'm trying to say, you know what, this running, these last, 11 games for them, it's not going to be easy. And we're going to say, does Spurs have the minerals to stick it out? And I think we will start with that conversation. So, D, what are your thoughts on it? And obviously, we'll kind of combine that with our game, where we go there and a fantastic win against a very poor side. The first half, I wouldn't even call it chess or nothing like that. It's just like they came, they packed the midfield. You know what I'm going to say. We had most of the possession. We controlled it, and listen, we get our first goal from Eze. You know what I mean? Oh no, I scored again against them. I mean,
I think that hurts for them in terms of he had one foot in the door.
Because you know what happened in the summer, innit?
He had one foot in the Tottenham door and then
nicking him from underneath their noses. Doing a remontada as we speak, by the way. Yeah, I know.
Yes. So to actually go there, the thing is, it's almost like some of them players were on the beach. And
big up, sorry. Big up Wawa every time the guy is on that, man. Big up to you every time, Wawa. Big up to you, bruv. Yeah, sorry, D.
Yeah, no, that's cool. No, and so you have to wonder how many of these top players at Tottenham have that get out of jail clause if they get relegated, because like in a North London derby, you have to put form to a side. Normally, you put form aside and say it's a derby. You know what I mean? Because the amount of times where City have been dominant the league and we've gone to the Etihad and took points off them. So I always say in a derby, you got to show up. There's no excuse for it. And I don't think they even attempted to show up. And I think with you guys as well, because you dropped points moving forward, you didn't want to go there and drop more points. So I think that dominant, there's an intent there. At the end of the day, you're in a title race, and you went there with intent to say, right, we're not going to look at what happened last week. We're just going to come here, spank you, mans, and move forward. Just keep our head straight and move forward. So I think in terms of that, like with Arteta, because it's always a bit nervous. I'm sure you was a bit nervous in terms of okay,
no, for real. I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. As I said it on the Bruised Banana. Big up to Shane every time, and I said I wasn't too sure about this game because of the back of us, giving up a 2-goal lead against Wolverhampton, who's sitting rock bottom, the worst, probably one of the worst sides. I mean, they probably will beat Derby's record, but that's just not good enough from a team that's trying to go for the title. And we pretty much bottled it. I mean, there's conversations being on add-on. You got getting Martin Keown getting in his feelings. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't get up. This Martin Keown, the Martin Keown that I know, the Martin Keown that jumped up in Ruud van Nistelrooy's face and say, "Yo, what are you doing?" Do you remember when we was going for? What are you doing? And the man now,
after the penalty mix, wasn't it? The penalty miss.
Yeah, but he just needs to calm down, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's just getting very much in his feelings, man. He needs to just calm it down.
Holmes, as you know, I say similar things about Gary Neville and Roy Keane. I'm just like, allow it, guys. Just stop with it, because it's. I said to Jason the other day, they're so desperate to say relevant within the media scope that they're just constantly talking, constantly criticizing. And I'm thinking, every game is not going to be a 9 out of 10 performance in the Premier League. It's just impossible, Norm. That's how football is. And so when these ex-players are constantly just digging out their team, when you think, well, this is where you try and bat them. If you're a real, you know what I mean? Like with Roy, even though Roy played for us, I don't think he's a Man United fan. You know what I mean? I think he almost said that. He played for the club and won a lot with the club. That doesn't make him a Man United fan. Well, I think Gary Neville it's almost like a fan with benefits, because there's a lot he does because of what he get out of it as well. He's a Manchester lad and all that, but sometimes I'm just like, bro, shut up. Stop talking. Just keep talking for no reason. And then there's this whole Carrick campaign, as in, should he get the job? Should he not get the job? At the moment, that's not my concern. My concern is qualifying for Champions League. After that, in the summer, we can revisit where we are. It's a big club. And Carrick knows that. You have to remember, he went to Middlesbrough. Now, Middlesbrough, I'm looking at Middlesbrough. At the moment, I think they're second in the Championship. So Middlesbrough could come up now.
Did they get beat? Big up to Jason, man. Big up every time. Did they get beaten at the weekend? I'm sure they got beaten at the weekend.
Weekend just gone?
Yeah.
They may have, but they're either second or third, Norm. So if they don't qualify, I think the first two qualify, right? And then the others go into that playoff thing, which I think is a bit.
No, I'm talking. Are you talking about the Champions League, or are you talking about the? I'm talking about
the Championship. So we Carrick. We Carrick. If Middlesbrough come up, it's something that Carrick couldn't do. So then that's why I would question. Yes, you come in as an interim doesn't mean I want you as the main man. Now, I'm not going to be critical if he goes through the season. Big up, Gavin. If he goes through the season unscathed, you know what I mean, and we qualify, then his name's got to be in the hat. But it shouldn't be a guarantee that just because we get Champions League football, that Carrick is our guy. Now, what you can't do either is put in a manager that's the same standard as him. That makes no sense. You know what I mean? Whoever comes in, if someone else does come in, has to be a way superior manager to Michael Carrick, who might even keep Michael. And that first team coach, the guy that coached at England. It just depends on the manager and what crew he has. You know, I think this next appointment cannot be a mistake, Norm. I think with Eric Ten Hag and Ruben, I think now you can't go three. You can't go three and like forget the hippie managers. Like just part them hippie managers. I don't want to see a Nagelsmann or any man like that coming through the door, because they're all hippies. You can't talk to them hippies, you know what I mean? They're stuck in their ways until they get fired. So for me, it's very much a just settle down, stop talking about it, let Michael do what he's got to do to the end of the season, and see where we land. I mean, people are saying, "Oh yeah, United will finish third." Nah, man, I'm not just going to pin my hat on that, because I don't think the chasing pack, i.e., your Liverpool, your Chelsea, and that they're not just going to take the foot off the pedal, because we've hit a bit of form and we've had a proper new manager's bounce. Well, interim manager's bounce, Yeah, so I'm not naive there. I'm looking at Villa. I saw him on Talk Sports, the ex-Villa guy. What's his name?
Bangalore.
Yes, that's the one. Gabby. There we go.
Man, Gabby, like Gabby. His surname is a bit of a mouthful, but yeah, Gabby.
Yeah. But he's mad nervous about United.
Yeah,
he said he's mad nervous. He's like,
yeah.
So
no, but I mean, look, Villa. I mean, we will come on when we go through like the Prem thing, you know. What I mean? But just sort of going back and addressing our game and the Spurs situation, because I say I want to kind of combine the two. All right.
Yeah.
With LD. Now, I know you're a Juventus fan. Yeah. Your second team is Juventus. Yeah. But I've got a special guest for you, man. Yeah.
Go on. We got here.
Man is making his debut on my channel. Yeah.
Good stuff,
hey, yo, you want to see who he is? Hey, come on, my Gianni, man. We say
what's going on?
You're a Juventus fan. Come on now, man. You can't make that mistake.
Now, this is from my Del Piero days, man. I was always a fan of Alexander Del Piero.
I'll give you a pass for that.
And there you go.
Napoli, bro. Hey.
And that's where my love for Juve
I hear it
comes from. So listen, if you look at my Juve, the top I got has the Del Piero on the back.
You got to go in his show, man. Let you know and go in his show. He's got his show that he talks about the Italian league and everything like that. So I'm sure he'll have a great conversation with you. I'm not versed on the Italian league like you, D, because I know you was following. You got all your Juve shirts and all of that, man. So you know, but they got slapped up last week. D, what on there? What's going on there?
They had that red card, right, and they just capitulated, man. It was.
We're here for the Galatasaray knockout punch today. We're here for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a toll.
I love this game.
Yeah.
No, but big up, Johnny, man. Thanks, man. Listen,
I appreciate you coming
on. I thought, listen, I saw you in the chat, man. I said, you know what? I know you've invited me on the channel, and we'll make it happen. But I thought, listen, you're in the chat. Listen, let's make it happen, bro. So yeah, man, big up to you. Just from Pad, salute Mr. Normski and Mr. D. I love Spurs to go down, but Forest and West Ham need to pick up a few wins to grab a reality open for the best. And so, I'll just pose the same question to you, Gianni, in terms of what you thought about our game against Spurs. What you thought about our performance. And I want to just question is that if you had started Odegaard, do we win that game? Not only that as well, there's a lot I'm throwing at you. Do you think that Spurs have the minerals to stay up? Looking, I know Mr. Padge just put in there about West Ham have got some tough games and that, but they got a manager that knows the league. Mr. Tudor's coming, and I know you know a little bit about Tudor. He hasn't really done much. So what you just kind of your thoughts on the whole situation, our game, and the fact with Spurs, do they survive? I mean, I want them to go down like anybody else, but do they survive? Have they got enough minerals to survive?
Well, first of all, just thank you again for having me on. A lot of people don't know this real quick. Normski's the guy that convinced me to do it, to create a channel. So big up to you, my guy.
You know what? Yeah, you listen, because every time I was on your case, man, I'll tell you, yo, this guy, when I say he knows his football, I love listening to him, man. The history of it. Even like the other day, I was listening to you with, I think it was Nesta, you was talking about, if it was Nesta, I can't remember who else it was, but you was talking about how the whole thing of the North and the South, and I've got a bit of a history, geography lesson, and the whole rivalry, you know what I mean? Because in the South, right, you know, you got the black man them down there, and then is it North? Is it North? Let's get it right. Is it North?
No, the reason why there's such an issue, the reason why it's a big rivalry between like Napoli and Juventus, for example, is it's North versus South. And whether anybody says it or not, it goes back to the historical different intermixing, as we will say. You know, is that I say it all the time. If you ever want to watch the Maradona documentaries or anything else, they always call the Neapolitans and all the Southerners. They call us the Africans of Italy as a way to try to talk smack towards us. So that's the reason why we have that. But to the game, I mean, listen, Arsenal and Spurs, the game was garbage the first 50 minutes, especially on our behalf, because we should have took it to them and blow the doors off of them. You know, I don't prescribe to these things that I hear when I say there's no easy games in the Premier League. No, like the Wolves game, the Spurs game, we should have smoked them. Those are the games that you go and you destroy those teams so that you're laying the groundwork down to show everybody else that the title is yours. Because when you go and you beat teams like that, then you're able. It's a mind game with the other teams to be like, wow, look at Arsenal. They struggled against Brentford, but they've come back and they've destroyed Wolves. They've destroyed Spurs. It's one of those things like when you see, like when everybody gets deflated when we try catching City and City's just destroying teams left, right, and center. You do the same thing. For me, nice. Atalanta took the lead. So
there you go.
But the thing, I think afterwards we played better. We got a wake-up call. Especially, I think Declan Rice got a wake-up call after doing all the talking that he did, and then gave up that goal. Yeah, and then it was a wake-up call for them. If you start Odegaard, no, I think we might even draw or lose the game. To be quite honest with you, I mean, Normski, I think you and me have said it on Lee's channel and others. Odegaard should never play for this team again, in my opinion.
100. I don't know what this thing about. I keep referring to him as the Milky Bar Kid, because when he first came to this club, everybody referred to him as the Milky Bar Kid, little youngster. You know, he was really done well when, at the age of 13, 14 or whatever, came through the Real Madrid and all of this stuff. Then he got let go, and then, you know, because they didn't think he was good enough. He came to Arsenal on loan, then went back, and then we eventually bought him. This guy's 27 years old, not 14 years old or 20 years old. Do you know what I mean? And I hate the comparison what people are doing today, Gianni, where they're making a comparison where, and I want to get your thoughts on Victor Gokres. So I thought he had a fantastic game. I thought his movement was brilliant. I thought he had a proper number 9 game, and I'll get your thoughts on it, Big D, as well. I thought he had a fantastic game in that game. And for me, football's simple. It's not a complicated game. And when you look at football in general, today's football compared to football back in the day, do you know what I mean? Can you imagine the players, Gianni, those players back in the day, if the wages that they would command and the price that they command? Because what you see, what they're looking for now is just pure athletes. If you can run like 12, 13, 14 kilometers, that's it. Everything is just driven by stats.
Yep.
And we look at the eye test. And what I saw from Victor Gokres, because he didn't score 100 and plus goals in 90 plus games in Sporting Lisbon, and we're calling it a farmers league. Yet we go and get some of the top players from there, top players that have won Ballon d'Ors and whatnot. So why? And the thing about it, listen, we knew that when he came, big up Shane, he said it, big up to DJ B, they said it as well. When he come to Arsenal, we said under the Arteta system, he ain't going to score more than 15 to possibly 20 goals, right? And everybody's going, what are you talking about? You know, the whole point why we went for him is because Kai Havertz couldn't hit a barn door.
Yep.
Yet when he was having all the problems and everything, this year, top goal scorer in 15 goals in all comps, 10 goals in the Premier League, beating your man there, Big D, Sesko. I know we was linked with Sesko, and I think there was this thing where there was a possibility that he could have gone to your club.
And the other way around. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm going to say, but listen, if you play to his strengths, which is, I'll just keep it simple, feed the Glock and he will score. Keep it simple. Proper, if you've got proper wingers, that can feed him. He's a volume striker, Gianni. He's a volume striker. So if you give him 6, 7 chances, he will score. You can't keep telling me that, when he's in front of the goal, how many times is he in front of the goal? Because he doesn't get the opportunity to be in front of the goal to get the thing. Because Arteta wants him to press, work. That's not his game. Nope. He doesn't drop deep for the ball. That's not his game. And that was what was affecting him. But what I saw from him against Spurs, yes, all beat Spurs, are very terrible Spurs, is that he played like a proper number 9. Do you know what I mean? So let's have your thoughts, guys.
He's exactly what you said. You feed the Glock, he'll score. We haven't been doing that the whole season. You know, when we did the game, I always bring it up, the game where we beat Brighton barely, when Raya made that great save at the end to keep it in our favor. The pass that Saka put across the box on the ground right at the penalty spot that Martinelli skied over, if you give 5 to 6 of those chances to Gyökeres the whole game, one's definitely going in, possibly 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's safe to say when we've seen this, the only reason why this league is a title race is because we've allowed City to come back into this title race.
Absolutely.
If you feed Glock and Glock is able to get the opportunities like he did against Spurs, granted Spurs are garbage, but if you can put those passes there for him and he's scoring, we walk the league.
Yeah.
That's how confident I am if we actually do it. The problem is it's the manager. So the manager's getting in. We've always said at the beginning of the year, Arsenal should be there. The biggest question is Arsenal versus Arsenal. It's the mentality.
That's it. That is it. You're right. Precisely on. You're right.
That's the issue. That's the issue with that. And for me, I thought he put on a very good performance. And same thing. I want to see those passes being given to him. I'm sick and tired of seeing a guy who everybody knew at the beginning of the season coming in. Unless you were listening to top gooners, the guy had no first touch. All he is a guy you put the ball in the box and he shoots and scores. That's all it is. That's all he does. Take the legwork away from him. Let him just be the poacher that he needs to be. To what you were saying about Spurs real quick with the minerals, no, I think Spurs are going down.
Wow.
Their captain is Romero, who can't stay on the pitch because he's a nutcase and always wants to get sent off. They're not listening to Tudor. Tudor is a garbage manager to begin with. He's worse than the Sam Allardyce of Italy as they've tried to portray him. You know, and it's just the thing of I just don't see. I've been saying this for a while now. Spurs have been on a downward spiral since they spent all that money on Lo Celso and Ndombele. Ever since they bought them two players, they misprofiled the two players, and since then it's just been a seesaw. 1 year they're okay, 1 year they're garbage. You know, and not only what Ange said. A lot of people forget because they dismissed him. They fired him right afterwards. Conte was right with that rant that he gave about Spurs. So, you know, it is what it is. No, I think the big difference for me with Spurs with the other teams, specifically Newcastle is a decent number 9 in that Tati Castellanos. He's been a solid striker in Serie A. It's the same thing. As long as Somerville and Bowen feed him, he's going to score. They'll get the goals to get out of the relegation area. Spurs, I just don't know. I have a feeling that Spurs is going to go down, which would be absolutely glorious.
I mean, a lot of people.
Yeah, but guys. But if I'm an Arsenal fan, I want them to stay up. It's a guaranteed 6 points every season. So I wouldn't want them to go down just for that reason. That I know they're going to come to me. I'm getting 3 points, and I'm going to go to 3-point lane and mug them off as well. So that's 6 points in the bag before I kick the ball off in a season. But I do understand that the rivalry that in North London, to see them in the Championship scrambling for their lives, because that's what will happen, because all their best players are out of there, and they'll have that in their contract.
Well, they haven't got, that's what. So they've got. Well, the thing is, if they do go down, right, or when they go down, you know, like the likes. I think I heard somebody talking about it, like the likes of West Ham. Those teams will have those things written in their clause. You know what I mean? But they're gonna have to get rid of. They're gonna have to get rid of all those players.
Yeah, just purely for the wage as well, Norms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The wage bill will hurt them. Plus, like I say, those guys that are regularly internationals for their teams will have that in their contract. They will not want to be playing in the Championship, and it's a dogfight down there. You don't just come back up because you're top.
200,000 for Gallagher. 200,000 quid.
That's what he's on.
That's what he's on.
Yeah, you see, that's a madness right there. That's just bad business right there. You know what I mean? Because he hasn't proven. Yeah, he hasn't proven that he should be on that money anyway. And the mere fact that he came in he's on the loan, isn't he? He came in for the loan, didn't he? Big up yourself.
I think they bought him.
Yeah. Or they bought him outright?
I think it's not.
Yeah, they bought him outright from it.
That's even worse, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't pay that kind of money for a loan, man.
They don't know what they're doing. That team, that club has been an absolute heaping pile of. You know what? For a lot. I mean, look, they got Paratici from Juventus and they were like, "Oh, this is the sporting director that's going to change everything for us." The whole time they didn't realize Paratici and Juventus were rigging the system in Italy, lying about the player value, and he got banned for a year and a half. So now he's no longer there, but was making decisions. And then he came back in and really hasn't changed anything. And it just goes with a bunch of. For me, it's a bunch of reactionary decisions that Spurs have done, and it's a club that just doesn't know what to do. They have no direction. They don't. It's another club that it's mostly business people running the club with no football mind, and that's the reason why they're in the state that they're in. And I think that's the reason why they'll go down. West Ham. I mean, listen, it is what it is with West Ham. The owners are terrible over there as well, but at least the problem with West Ham was they thought they were going to get Julian Lopetegui Sevilla at their team that started this whole madness with them, and it hasn't been anywhere close. So, you know, it is. And to be honest with you, if it was not Spurs, I hope it's Forest because I can't stand that Marinakis. I can't stand it.
I mean, there's a lot of people that want to see that guy go. I mean, he's just crazy when it comes to.
And the thing is, I think, the way he's operated as well, Norm.
Yeah,
I think the way he's operated this season, I think he probably deserves to go down, doesn't he? Even though you know, I do like Forest as a club. I think they're a decent club, and they have got good pedigree and European history and stuff. But this owner, he's a criminal. He really is. And so I think for that, they should get relegated. And that, like I said, that leaves you guys with easy 6 points every season. You know what I mean? But yeah. When you look at the balance of the league, it's always nice to have teams from all parts of the country. And I suppose that's probably where I would lean for Forest to stay up. But then the owner, man, I think he's killed it for me. I'm just like, because I think if they go down, they lose all their best players as well.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And then he's going to have to rebuild in a championship dogfight, which is very hard to do.
Yeah,
because it's just the games come thick and fast. And if you look at my birth town, Coventry, look how long Coventry have been at the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a dogfight to get where Fat Frank's got them now. And even when he comes up, he's got to spend some money. If you don't spend some money, you're straight back down again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I mean, so it's a very I don't think any top team really wants to go down because they know it's not a guaranteed comeback. If you look at, I would say someone like Norwich mastered it. Norwich was just up and down, getting the parachute, coming straight back up. And then obviously in recent years it hasn't worked for them, but they made almost a pattern out of doing that. You think they're just going to come back up, and they were, but now. Even they've come and stopped now where they're not out of the races now. And after a while,
just looking at West Ham, I mean, if you look at the size of their stadium, West Ham's got 50. Is it nearly 50 plus or 60? Or the stadium, is it the second biggest or third biggest stadium?
In London?
Yeah. No, in the country. You've got Man United.
That was the Olympic thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
You've got Man United, Tottenham.
Yeah.
I think West Ham. I think I can't remember. If somebody could let us know in the chat.
Is that bigger than yours, Norm?
Yeah, it's bigger than the Emirates. It's almost 70,000 is West Ham Stadium.
Yeah,
okay.
That's
London.
Right. I can't remember. I think they increased the seating in there.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, a size stadium like that, you know what I mean? To go down and listen, West Ham have had their time in the Championship and that. And again, I think just the way the club has been run, they could probably struggle again to get back up. And it'd be interesting if Spurs did go down, would they come straight back up? Because, as I say, they're going to have to lose a lot of their big players. They're probably going to have to rely on the academy players and then just be doing some cheap deals here or there sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? But to have a stadium of that, I don't like to big it up, but I'm not going to lie.
They're not going to fit it on.
It's a very nice toilet bowl. You know what I'm going to say? That's what I'm just going to say there.
How big is that Spurs one? Is that 50,000 seater?
Spurs is 62,000. 62,000. Bigger than
ours. You're not going to feel that in the Championship.
No.
You know what I mean?
The prices they're going to want to charge.
Exactly.
You're going to lose money across the board. The only thing that would be scary is if Spurs, the only thing that could potentially come out of that with Spurs is that the amount of money that they would lose, you would have to worry about maybe them getting sold to a decent business guy that does want to take football seriously in that, because the amount of money you're going to lose, you're going to have to sell all the top players because you're going to have to cut your losses because, with this whole thing with PSR and how money just limits the clubs nowadays and all this other nonsense. You're going to have to cut your salaries down. A lot of them players aren't going to take cuts. They're going to be looking to go make either the same amount of money or more at a bigger club around Europe, let alone just in England. And you then have to look at it is, are they really going to do anything? Because then, the funny thing is Spurs fans try to say, oh, we're the best ran club in England because of concerts and stuff. Well, listen, you're going to still get your concerts, but you ain't going to be nothing in this football game.
Exactly,
He said, there's no guarantee you're coming back up the first year.
No, that's what I'm thinking.
How many teams have we seen that have gone down to the Championship? Oh, they'll come back up next year. They don't come up. And one year then becomes 2, then becomes 5, then becomes 10. I mean, Blackburn's done it. Blackburn's gone down, hasn't come back up. Look at Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Portsmouth went down. Everyone said they're coming right back up. Portsmouth hasn't come back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Portsmouth have ended up in League One.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's not easy. You got Sheffield Wednesday now, who's now gone down to League One. Do you know what I mean? A club that used to grace the Premier League in the early days. So yeah, it's ruthless down there in the Championship. You know what I mean? You know, it's absolutely ruthless. And these guys, if they do go down, you know, every game for those teams going to that stadium or them coming, there's going to be a cup game, and that's where I think they will find it really difficult. You know what I mean? So yeah, every team's going to take it to them, rough and tumble. You know what I mean? You ain't going to see pretty football. You know what I mean? You're going to. But saying all of that though, I mean, when I've done some backstage stuff with Lee and Matty, we've been looking at some of the. I mean, I love the way Wrexham play at the moment. I think they play some really great football.
Yep.
They do face Chelsea in the FA Cup, and I think there's a chance that they could knock Chelsea out. Do you know what I mean? Edge is not, you know, that could happen. That'd be great. Edge is not here to defend his club, but yeah, I mean, look, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, just sort of kind of deviating back to our game. I thought Eze fantastic in that number 10 role. Scores again, 2 goals. I wanted him to stay on, as I said, to possibly get his hat trick. And
the manager didn't want that though, Norm.
Oh, he didn't.
Because if he gets his hat trick, he's got to start in the next game. Come on, man.
Well, this brings us nice
on the rest of the season.
I was going to say, this is it. This is right. This manager is crazy enough, right? Because if, say, for whatever reason, Gianni, say Kai Havertz is fit, right? He's going to try and shoehorn this brother in, right?
Exactly.
And he'll either play, because in the Wigan game, I'm trying to think what game is it when did Kai? Has there been a point where Kai and have Eze have played in the same? I'm trying to think.
No, because Eze got benched the game that Kai came in, where he was passing the ball up to Gyökeres because everyone started hyping up Havertz for passing and finding Gyökeres, which is like, you know, it's ridiculous. It's like you're hyping somebody up for doing their job. If he's going to play the number 10, you have to pass it to the striker. What are we talking about?
That's right. Yeah.
But that's the role. Do you know what I mean? That's the role. The thing about it, I don't know what the situation is. You know, there's speculation around Odegaard and his future with Arsenal. You know, there's talk that, you know, he's asking to. He wants to leave and whatnot.
I'd oblige him. I wouldn't play him again. I would not play Odegaard again.
You can't have your main. You can't have your main captain, D. You can't have your main captain getting hooked pretty much every game.
Yeah, and talking reckless as well.
Yeah, it's not good.
Or his agent talking reckless. Because you remember I said to you last week, Norm, that he's been linked to us, and I'm like, how? You know what I mean? It's like, because he's not a Casemiro replacement. So I don't know how he's like. That's who we're looking to replace in the summer, Casemiro, because he's not staying on.
Bruno is likely to stay.
Well, even Bruno's acting a fool though, Norm. He's saying he's not dealing with us until after the World Cup. Nah, bro, no. You're not bigger than Man United, mate. Make a decision before you get on that plane to the World Cup. You're either in or you're out.
So there's going to be a lot of speculation around whether he's staying or going.
Yeah, and both Bruno and Casemiro.
That's the interesting thing, because you know how the papers were and social media. That's going to intensify, because if he's not giving any guarantees, and you've got the speculation with Odegaard 2 and 2 together, Bruno leaves. You know, Odegaard is the one to go to Man United.
He does
plus the wages as well. If you look at the wages, if you combine Casemiro and Bruno's wages, it's phenomenal money. So if both of them go, then for me, like I say, Premier League proven, you have to go for the Crystal Palace lad, Adam Walton.
Walton.
Yeah.
What about the Nottingham Forest?
Elliot Anderson.
Yeah.
As well.
He's good.
And the other guy, Gibbs White, right. That's what I'm saying. So for me,
on talking about who you would take if any of those two teams were to go down, Gibbs White definitely, and Anderson. I think for Spurs, I don't know. You see, the thing about Van der Ven, he's quick. Is he a good defender? That's the question. I mean, do you know what I mean? And then you've got Jed Spence, probably as a squaddy player. But they just don't look good.
Because you see with this as well, Norm. See with this as well. There's rumours that he's Ugarte's gone. So if you go get me a Believer, Elliot Anderson, and Gibbs White, yeah, man, that can work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one more, but it'll come back. It's got out my brain. There's one more midfielder as well that I quite like. But those three, if Bruno, Kaz, and them go, three that know how to play in the Premier League should slot straight in and get on with it, where you're not really missing the beat. Hence why we did that with the forwards in your Cunhas and Mbeumo, where there's no bedding in. They're not away from home, away from their natural country because they've been here a while playing football in England and used to the Premier League, used to the rain now. Well, obviously, up north they're getting used to more rain because it always rains in Manchester. You know what I mean? But but those three I mentioned, like all they're doing is changing uniform in terms of coming in and bedding into a team in a country that they're more than comfortable in, and a league that they're more than comfortable in. It's a no-brainer. You start bringing foreign players in, then you see you've got to give them time. And I don't think if we qualify for Champions League, I don't think there's time to be wanting to bed players in. I think we've done this with Sesko, which is cool because it's literally we weren't in Europe. He comes in, there's no pressure. We use him as an impact sub. It allows him to take his time and do what he's doing. I think he's doing bits right now as an impact player. Eventually, he's going to be a starter. You know what I mean? I think he's good enough to lead the line for United when he's proper settled in. So I actually like what Carrick's doing with him. I looked at the last game and I thought, would I have started him? I would have started him only because of the front three form. It's been a bit hit and miss. Cunha, Mbeumo, and Ahmad, especially Ahmad.
Yeah, Ahmad dropped off a little bit. Ahmad just dropped off a little bit, isn't he?
I'd actually play Ahmad back at wing back. I would.
Okay.
On the left hand side because Luke Shaw don't overlap on nothing, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and so you lose a
lot. Then are you changing because doesn't Carrick play with a back four?
Yeah.
Yeah, but with a wing back, you're talking about a back three, and then you're going to a different formation.
No. I would say more a winger, but like, if the thing is, he actually defends all right. He actually defended all right as the wing back, so I think he could play that left back. I think for me, Luke Shaw's a good defender
because that's what you would be doing. That's what I mean.
You don't want to cross the halfway line.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so you just look at the formations there, and you just think he's getting away with it just because of the subs have been really good in terms of when he's made the impact subs, it's paid off for him, and we've turned the game around because that game, as we spoke earlier, I thought it was a very poor game of football against Everton.
Did you see that game, the Everton Man United game?
Garbage.
Yeah. It was a hard watch.
I think the biggest problem with Arsenal is the same thing that's the problem with United. I said this on the Bruised Banana before with Normski. The problem with both of our clubs are United, ever since Ferguson left, has gone away from the DNA of the club. When you're a big club, you have to stick to the DNA. United has not. Their DNA is open attacking football just as much as it is Arsenal's. Whether anybody wants to hear it or not. United's gone down the path of hiring the most pragmatic managers, and I think that's the reason why United is partially in the state that it's in, because it doesn't play its identity. Its identity is open attacking football. And that's why, for me, I think this whole talk with Carrick and everything, we got to calm down a little bit and see. If he's playing football going for the season just to make sure he gets the results so that he's fighting for the job, but he's going to show a little bit more offensive towards the end of the season, then I would entertain it. If not, I still don't think Carrick deserves the job because, again, it's Manchester United. United should be having, if you're going to be one of the two biggest teams in England, you need to have one of the best managers in the world as at the helm of Manchester United playing football.
Yeah. And I think that's where I am, Johnny. That's where I am in terms of I think the Glazers have allowed us to be a Stoke City. You know what I mean? Like you got Man United like a mid-table team under this ownership, and even some of Ineos's mentality. I like the young players that they brought in, but even some of their mentality in the way they talk, you're just thinking, well, no, you're a co-owner of Man United, bro. Act like it. And I remember when he came in, I was saying to JP, he's a broke billionaire and it's already you're mad. You actually saying someone's a broke billionaire. Just those two things should even go in the same sentence. But when it comes to, if you look what he's done, I'm a billionaire, but I'm putting families at risk just to make profit at the club.
Yep.
So
they came out today with they came out with a statement.
Yeah, sorry,
I think like they made 32 million profit,
right?
And that's without being in Europe or anything like that. So and they've said like because of the cutting of redundancy of getting rid of things, and it's a sad thing that it had to get to that position. And listen, I think just the way the whole business is being handled from the very top of the Glazers right down to Ineos, because he came in and he was sort of saying, you know, he's going to build his stadium, he's going to do this and blah blah.
And you see how that's all died a death, Norm. There's no stadium talk, is there? Like we're actually getting the results now. Now you think this would be the time to hint at the stadium, but now there's no talk of that because he knows he can't go to his whatever they are, business partners or
the family,
people that would want to finance him.
Yeah,
he can't go there because clearly he's got some broken relationships. Hence why they're pulling all their sponsorships.
They used United as the chip to build the new stadium for Tampa Bay. I mean, and if you watch how they've ran the Buccaneers, they're terrible at that. They happen to own the Buccaneers when the Buccaneers had one of the best defenses in the NFL at the time and won a Super Bowl. After they won the Super Bowl, the Buccaneers were trash. It was by luck that they got Tom Brady in the recent one that they had and put everything together. And as soon as they built that team up,
every
time. So it's the Glazers are terrible as far as ownership because the problem is they used United in their portfolio to draw out all the money to do the work on the Tampa Bay. And again, like I said before, when it comes to people talking about the Cronkies with Arsenal, what people have to realize in England is the Premier League is nowhere near as much of a moneymaker as the NFL is. So if these guys are coming to buy teams in the Premier League, they're using it as portfolio chips to make more money down the line for the NFL. Again, on a bad year, the NFL still makes $10 billion more than the Premier League does, even on a
it's insane.
Big up, fellas. This is the man that knows American sport. I can hear it. See, but what he's saying, because what he's saying is true. What he's saying is true. Our owners, remember, American sport, there's no relegation. There's no promotion.
Correct.
So your income is fixed. They control how much money the players earn.
Yeah.
All the owners go around the table and say, right, we're going to give this much money, and every year it can go up by a small amount.
Yeah.
And we're out here trying to control all our income and try and make sure we don't give 90% of it away to players.
Yeah, it's such a different model. Like and as these guys know, I was blessed to live in Florida for 5.5 years. So got to
we're in Florida because it depends if it's a blessing or not. Because Florida's a nutcase state to begin with.
Well, you know, it's funny you should say that because Central Florida.
Central Florida's not bad. Central.
No. Hold on. Let me land on this one. Central Florida is not good for me.
No. Yeah, because of
the skin color. Yeah, exactly, Gianni.
I know. Do you want to talk about the experience of the stop? Yeah, the stop. Yeah.
Nah, I can't remember that one again, man.
If you're black living in Florida, you either got to live in Jacksonville, Miami, or Fort Lauderdale. If you don't, or Orlando. And if you don't live in those areas, it's a bad day for you because the rest of them down lives hard.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. And I lived in Coral Springs in Fort Lauderdale, so and even then, I had the gun pulled on me. You know, because it's a gun state. These southern states are very trigger happy, so you have to be mindful of that. But what I liked, the ability to go and watch the Heat on let's say a regular. Regular for me was like 3 or 4 times a year because you're still paying $300 US for a 3rd tier seat, which is wild. That's before your food, your parking charge, and you know what I mean.
That's not the playoffs. That's a regular season game.
Oh, regular season.
A regular season game,
and probably against a bad team too.
Yeah.
Right. And the only time we splashed that was when the Heat played Christmas Day, and my missus was like, "Let's do it. Let's go Christmas Day." And normally you get a decent team on Christmas Day. But you have to budget $1,000 to go watch 4 quarters of basketball. $1,000 just like that. Right, we're treating ourselves for Christmas. We're going to South Beach to watch the Heat play. And then we're going for a nice meal after that. But it's levels. American sports is levels to what we're trying to do here even though the Premier League pays well for football, but nothing like what they're paying over there.
Hockey. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
When I've heard some of the prices that people say they pay for a season ticket for a football team in England, I'm like, you guys don't realize how cheap that is.
It is, yeah.
You want a good seat for a baseball team. It could be the worst baseball team. You're talking $10,000 a year for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because
if you're talking about a big team, you're talking anywhere from 25. Hell, you want to talk about the New York Yankees? A good seat, and you're a season ticket holder for the Yankees, you're talking 60,000-70,000. You're talking about.
So what we're basically saying is that not your normal regular guy goes to these games.
Not for certain areas, no. For certain areas in the stadiums, no.
And then the playoffs, Norm, like when Miami had D Wade, LeBron, and Bosch in the playoffs, $16K to sit courtside, $16,000, Norm, for one game.
It's worse now, D. It's worse than that now, man.
Actually, way worse. But I remember, and we had a link to get tickets slightly discounted, and slightly discounted was costing us $300 a pop each. $600 before you bought a drink or park the car up. $60 to park the car, Jay. $60 to park the car, Richard. And so it was a whole thing where that became a treat. So when I watch the Heat play and see certain people courtside every week, I'll be like, how? What do you do? What am I missing here? Yeah, it's levels, Norm, honestly. Absolutely levels.
I got a question. I've got a question in the chat from the Assemble. Big up to you every time. He goes, question, how long do you think it will take before the Super League starts? And this is in your plan. Anybody want to jump on that? How long do you
Premier League's the Super League. The Premier League's the Super League. The Super League will never happen because the Premier League's the Super League. Here's an uncomfortable conversation for all Premier League fans, because I hear this, because this is where this comes into play now when we talk about the American ownership. People hate American ownership, but they don't hate the American money. That's where the problem is. So it's either you go all the way with one or you go all the way without it. The problem is this. The Super League, and what we're talking about is the Premier League, because of the American investors created financial fair play. Let's all be honest here. Financial fair play was designed to stop the crazy ownership in the Italian league at the time, when Inter and AC Milan were dropping $200 million every single season to bring all the new superstars to their team every year, right? They came up with financial fair play because the ownerships at the time, without the American investment, could not keep up with those owners. Just like they couldn't keep up with Bayern, they couldn't keep up with Real or Barcelona. So they created the financial fair play to handicap all the other teams. That's why you only see the big teams going on these 6, 7, 8 year runs of winning the title every year, like we've seen Bayern, like we've seen Juve in the recent decade winning 9 years in a row. It's because the money is that much different now. Now, the bigger problem is then when you look at the Premier League has tried to adopt the franchise movement in America with this PSR, because it's ridiculous that if you're going to limit these smaller teams to try to bridge the gap between themselves to the big 6 teams, let them do it. Why, if you're trying to build the best league in the world, or to try to get the Premier League on the same level of what the old Serie A was, the smaller teams had the ability to spend money if they had an owner the same way that Inter and Milan would. Here, you see owners being caught out because they don't want them to do it. Like, again, we've said it numerous times. If Aston Villa was allowed to spend money in this offseason, the title race than what it is just between Arsenal and Manchester City. So for
same with Newcastle. I mean, look, they're the richest.
Newcastle got the richest owners, and they won't let them spend any money. So again, the Super League is already the Premier League. But then, like I said, the American ideology of franchising, they're trying to franchise the big 6 teams. That's why I hope Tottenham's the team that goes down, because if the franchising doesn't work, now all of a sudden PSR has to get put in the look to say we need to get rid of this and let it just be a free-for-all.
It's gone. PSR's gone. PSR's gone anyway.
Correct, exactly. And that's the reason why. But for me, because of how money's set up, because of financial fair play, the Premier League's already the Super League. Because when you guys have watched the Premier League longer than I have, when did Bournemouth or any of these teams be able to go to Inter Milan or AC Milan to buy a player? They never have. Because of the amount of money. I think somebody put it in my chat when I did a stream. The Premier League is 1.8 or 1.9 billion a year as far as the money that goes around. The Serie A gets 900 million across 7 years. That's the difference of money that we're talking about.
Yeah.
The league is the Premier League already.
Yeah, and this is why a lot of those teams always try and get your players on loan, and they say, with the option to buy, and they never really want to buy them, and they just want to extend the loan. This is what we find with the players that go there from here. When you look at it, they're always trying to do loan deals. And he's like, we as fans want the player gone. They're always coming with loan deals. It's like, just buy the player already. Because I was looking at ours, Jay, right? How many players we got on loan? It's like 7 players on loan, bruv. I think the only one that expires is Sancho. Everyone else could potentially come back if they don't get the options taken up.
Is that the same for Chelsea as well? How many players have Chelsea got on loan?
Well, they're not on. We got Nana putting chat out that he wants to come back. But the reason
he ain't coming back into that side.
The reason he's saying that is because what does it look like it's going to happen? It looks like Manchester United are going to get Champions League football. Right. So that means 25% increase in your wages.
Yep.
Yeah. He's thinking money first. He's thinking money first.
Of course, he's thinking money. So he's putting out the feelers, pretending like, I want to come back and fight for my bit. He knows he can't fight for his position. He knows he can't.
Yeah.
But he's prepared to sit on the bench and earn his money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's prepared to do it.
Yeah. I think
PSR's gone now.
Yeah.
PSR's going to be replaced by this, what's it called? The squad cost ratio or something?
Yeah.
It's more nonsense.
So that one is very much in favor of the bigger teams. So the likes of Newcastle voted against it.
Right.
But you obviously had the 14 clubs that voted for it. Yeah. So for all of our teams on here, it's much better for us than PSR.
But you see Newcastle, Jay. I can't feel sorry for Newcastle, right? Because Newcastle are making a choice to stay in that stadium in the city centre, right? Where you can go just outside of there onto a industrial park and build Newcastle will fill that stadium, but it's almost like they're so obsessed with that stadium being in the city centre. There's nowhere to go. You can't expand it. So for them, they're actually hurting themselves because they can't make their stadium bigger, even though they could just build a brand new stadium somewhere else in Newcastle that has plenty of parking. But I'm saying that's the small club mentality for me. You may be the richest club in the Premier League, but you're not thinking big.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because this is what you could do. I don't know if they've got a female team. After female team, they still play at St. James's Park. And then you build the new St. James's out of the city centre.
What's the point of having a female team at a 55,000 seat stadium? The atmosphere is worse for them because you can't have. What do they get at best? I don't know, 5,000-6,000 people.
When our team plays at the Emirates, they pretty much almost sell it out, especially if it's a North London derby.
No. When we played, but they're giving half the tickets away. They're giving half the tickets away, Normski. Like they're trying to. It's like City.
I know they're trying to build the brand.
Exactly. How does City feel the empty ad? Giving tickets away to all the school kids, right? Because they want the next generation. They're smart because they want the next generation of fan, right?
To be City fans rather than United
also
fans.
They see the money. Look at what Chelsea did when they sold the rights to the women's team. Yeah. When they sold the women's team to pump more money into the team so they could get away with more of that crazy spending.
Villa did it, and Everton did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But under the squad cost ratio, you can't do that anymore.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Well, that be so. When does that all sort of come into play?
Next season. Next year. Yeah, and it's a free hit next year. So next year you can get away with going above.
Yeah,
the 90%.
Yeah, and
is it 90% or something?
So that's 90% of the earnings, right, guys?
90% with that.
So it's player that. So basically, it's only things like player wages, manager wages, and transfers, right. And you can monetize those transfers as well. So you can say,
over a period of years.
Yeah.
Well, listen. I mean, obviously, it's in your best interest for Man United
Which is great for us. It's great for us.
Yeah, but to make that top 4 as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I mean,
for sure.
If the owners
probably top 5 probably gets you Champions League. The way everyone's
I think the way things are going.
Yep.
I mean, you're unbeaten. Man United are unbeaten this calendar year. And look, Michael Carrick is doing a great job. You went away to Everton. Win that game when, as I said, the game was absolutely terrible.
Terrible game.
You know what I mean? I mean, even when
you guys heard my rant. You guys heard my rant about the corners. It's a joke. It's a joke.
It's killed the game, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's terrible now. Everton took it to another level.
I mean, I know you blame
Arsenal started it. But listen, I'm not blaming Arsenal. Arsenal started it. I'm not blaming Arsenal because people.
They're going to cut that out next season, though. That's going to be.
They've got to. They've got to.
They have to. This is nonsense now.
It's almost like the line-outs. This is not rugby. That's what I'm saying. Football now is this physical, athletic thing.
It's a joke.
And especially at the corners. I mean, yes, look, Arsenal were the ones that were doing all that thing, crowding out the goalkeeper and whatnot. But now, listen, because
Everton took it to another level. Everton took it to another level this week.
Yeah, see,
proper dark horse, wasn't it, Jay? Proper dark horse.
Took it to another
ridiculous.
Level. This is what I'm saying. This is why I say Arsenal started it all. I don't blame Arsenal because they didn't break any rules. What should have happened is they should have clamped down on it. Yeah. And when you don't clamp down on something, Arsenal started it last year and no one clamped down on it. It makes no sense. You will give people yellow cards for just about breathing on someone outside of the penalty box.
Right.
Inside the box, you can shove people, you can rugby, it's madness what you're seeing happening inside the penalty box, and nothing's really happening.
Because if you look at that, Jay, if a goalkeeper physically can't jump to punch the ball, then what are we doing here? That's part of his job. Either to jump, catch it. And if you can't do either, then it's not.
I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do, guys. I think they could take inspiration though from like one thing about American sport, right? Is very regulated. There's rules for everything. How many players you can have in the box? How many players you can have in this zone and that zone, right?
Yep.
So they regulate everything. Right. So it's almost like extra man in the box, right? Blow up, foul, 5-yard penalty, whatever it is, right?
We don't want it that prescriptive.
No. What I'm saying is they might. I won't be surprised if they say. I won't be surprised if you say in the 6-yard box you can't have more than 3 players, or something like that for a set piece. Or I don't know. I'm just making. They need to do. They need to do something, and they need to start booking players. They need to start doing something.
That's what they need to do. They need to start calling fouls on this. They need to start getting. If you can't, like what D said, if a goalie can't jump out, if the goalie can't come up, we all grew up watching the goalies running through their own player. If they cracked the player with the knees or if they punched him while going for the ball, it was what it was. They can't even do that anymore. Yeah. And the fact that we're even having a conversation of needing to regulate this is all part of the problem to why the game is going to hell.
Yeah, absolutely. Lemon said he had to stand inside his goal so he could try and get a little running start.
Exactly.
To get a little leverage. It's crazy. It's absolutely
because apparently as well he's doing more upper body weights.
Flyberry said 3-second rule. What's up, playing basketball?
That's the basketball norm. Like if you come in the zone, you got to catch the ball and shoot. You gotta go out. You gotta go out the zone again. Yeah, exactly. But they were saying that he's doing more upper body weights, just to compact the way defenders are trying to hold him down and block him, so he can actually take the hit before he makes the punch or the catch. Which is like, what are we doing here?
Big D. How much goals do we concede? They had 12 corners, Everton.
I know.
If Banana's in goal, we concede at least 3 goals.
Easily, bro. Yeah, it's a 3-1 game. It's a 3-1 game. Yeah, we actually lose that game with Banana.
No, seriously. He'd have thrown 2 of them in the net. He'd have punched 2 of them in the net.
Yeah,
his own net. Yeah.
He's a bomb.
And, I mean, the game in itself, in just general, as I said, they couldn't string 2 passes against both sides. It was a real bad watch. I mean, the goal, Sesko was just commenting, and they clocked him at 22. I think he's around the world. He's clocked at the 57th fastest From where he ran from. But I mean, even the defending there, I mean, look, Everton were all pushed up, and I mean, he had
got no pace though. They got no pace.
If you watch the defender, if you watch the defender trying to keep up with Sesko, it's like he was running in treacle. It was funny to watch. It was like he tried to put the jets on and no reaction. Yeah.
Sesko started behind him.
Yeah. It was so funny to watch. It was like, what did this defender really?
He took it well. He didn't panic. He took it well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And Sesko looked like he had more. Sesko looked like he had a little bit more juice in the tank still.
Yeah.
For that run as well.
I think B, you kind of touched on it about. But I don't know if you said about him. I might have heard wrong about him starting. Sesko getting a start. Do you think he needs more of a start? Because he's coming off the bench a lot. Well, you paid what? What did you pay for him? Just under
62? 62,
I'm okay with
62, isn't it?
I'm okay with what happens. With what's happening.
This one is right. If you look at the bench, guys, there's not much impact on the bench. So I'm okay with either him or Cunha being an impact player. One of them is going to be the impact player. So at the moment, he's making Sesko the impact player.
I think Sesko's dealing with it well. I think if it was Cunha on the bench, I think he'd be having a little bit of a moan.
And I think he built his confidence on him. I think it's helped him because he's not under pressure, as in he started. Because the way the press are, and we saw it with Gokres as well, the way the press are is that these are these out-and-out strikers, they're going to score every game. No striker scores every game. But if you see them in the game, in the mix, helping, because this is what Sesko does that no other forward guy does. He keeps the centre-backs honest. And you don't see it with the other three starting, even though the other three are probably better with their feet to a point. But what Sesko does is always take at least 1 to 2 defenders on the runs. He makes those runs. He runs the channels, and that creates space for your Mbumas and your Cunhas. So I think impact-wise, it works. It works, Jay. I like it. And the pressure is not on him. I think if you start him, then the media just going to come on him. He's getting the start now, and you'll hear it in the commentary before the game. They'll already put him under the microscope before he's even touched the ball. And this is what I don't like. Just let the kid play. The kid's young. What is he, Jay? 20, 22?
Two. But you know what it is? If you listen to his interview, he's comfortable at the moment coming off the bench. So I'm okay with it, right? Because he's impacting the game every time he comes on. Right? Yeah. Because he said Carrick believes in me. And he basically said he's getting me ready. They're getting me ready. So he believes in the manager, you can tell. And you can tell he believes the manager believes in me, whether Carrick did or not.
Do you think that's would you say that's the same for Glock and Arteta?
No.
No, it's not, is it? No. I think with Glock, he's got to score norm, otherwise he ain't starting him if you don't score.
What if Carrick went an old school Sir Alex Ferguson wanted to play open 4-4-2 and had Mbeumo and Sesko as the duo up top? Would you be opposed to that?
No, I wouldn't. No, because if you look at it, if you look at it,
straight up 4-4-2.
No,
sorry, D, go ahead.
No.
The only reason why I threw that out there is because we talked about it earlier. I've said this when D and Normski earlier. I said my biggest thing with United is I think United has the same problem as Arsenal overall. Is they've gotten away from the DNA of the club. When you are a big club, you have to stick to your DNA, whether you like it or not. When you veer away from it, other stuff happens.
Yeah. You know? Because if you look at Fergie only went single strikers sometimes in Champions League. Apart from that, he always went with 2 strikers, and that's why that's why you always had at least 4 strikers. Where we don't have that. We don't have 4 strikers at United.
No way.
We have 1.5 strikers because Xerxes is more of a 10 really than an out-and-out 9. So if you look at that squad, it's quite an unbalanced.
What did you say? You say he's a bum.
He's a bum. He was a bum. He was a bum.
I can't agree.
Let's have it. Let's be having that. Come on.
No, you ain't getting no argument.
Don't hurt Big D's feelings now. Don't hurt Big D's feelings.
I think Xerxes can be a good player if you play him in the right spot. I think Xerxes is a good player if you play him in the right spot.
Let me say
Xerxes, he's not a hold-up guy. He wasn't that in Bologna. Xerxes came in
Italian football.
Listen, all he did in Bologna was he came in deep, passed the ball off, and they put the ball in the space for him to run past you to make it easy for him to go and score. That's it.
And he can't run.
He can't do that.
He would be great in Italian football because of the way they play the game, the speed of the game, and everything like that. He cannot play. I say this all the time. He cannot play in the Premier League. He's gotten especially we just talked about DNA. Now, don't get me wrong. Every team has, when we talk about DNA, right? So Alex Ferguson had way of playing. We played fast. We played brilliant. We didn't do it every game.
No, but it was the overall structure of what you want.
Exactly. So sometimes you veer away because I need to win this game. Yeah. Right? But on the whole, this is the way we play and this is what we do, right? And I just don't understand how. I say this. I've said this to D for ages. I do not understand how we say we need a striker, and we sign a guy who doesn't score goals, and we complain that he doesn't score goals. How does that work? The man scored single-digit goals from the team we bought him from.
Yeah, but if this is how I looked at it, I actually thought that they got Xerxes because they believed they could turn him into a Berbatov. Because you have to remember, because he's got great feet.
Because Ten Hag bamboozled them again to sign everyone he wanted to sign.
Yeah, I think there's that as well. But then, if I'd looked at Xerxes, and you have to remember that Berbatov is still quite linked, and he's got the access to all areas with United. From day one, I'd have had this young kid working with Berbatov, and then if Berbatov couldn't get him straight, then I'm on Jason's side with that. Get him gone. You know what I'm saying? But they've never done that.
Gone.
So I feel like you look at Højlund. Now Højlund's a bum, in my opinion. He's an emotional player that got lucky in the Champions League. When it comes to Premier League and the physicality of it, he spent more time on the ground than he did on his feet.
He spent his whole time on the ground.
Yeah, so you knew that. This ain't for him. But I think there was people that felt like put the Xerxes kid with a Berbatov and see. And if it don't work, get him gone. Get him gone back to the slower league. But I just feel like I kind of feel sorry for him. That's all. Because I like that he's taking on. He's great with his feet. But then, like you say, like Jason says to me, I need the finished article as well. Like, yes, you're creating. Yes, you're holding up. But you got to get me them goals. Because even when he scores, you see how emotional he is. That means he probably can't even believe that he just scored. He's very emotional when he scores the goal. So it's kind of funny to watch.
That's the problem.
You can't have the number 9 on your back and don't score. You can't have the number 9 on your back.
Yeah.
And you tell me you're a creator. You tell me you're this. You don't score goals. That doesn't make no
sense. Who's got the number 9 at the moment? It's Højlund, isn't it? If you look on the website, Højlund still got it, as in on loan.
I don't think anyone has it now.
But his squad number it says on loan with the number 9, and I say, well, how can you be on loan with the number 9? So they haven't given it to anybody. It's not
he's
like
a number 9. He's a number 9 because
but if you look at
9.5,
if you look at Cunha, when Cunha came in, even though Rashford's on loan, Cunha took that number 10 shirt, and I went, you're a bad man.
Yeah.
I actually wanted Xerxes. Xerxes. I wanted Xerxes, not Xerxes, Sesko to take the number 9 from. He's on loan. I'm here. I want the number 9 shirt, and I think they give it him. Yes, it puts a bit of pressure on you when you ask for the number 9 shirt. Puts mad pressure on you. So maybe
I don't think these guys aren't built like that. These guys aren't built like that. It's the same thing.
That's what I'm doing.
Facts.
And that's why I like Cunha, Jay.
They're not built like that, D. It's the same.
But that's why I like Cunha, Jay.
Yeah.
For that reason, he came in and said, "Give me the Rashford 10. I want the Rashford 10," and they gave it him. Even though Rashford's on loan.
Was it Ian Wright that said? Well, someone was talking about Ian Wright, and they said when Wright played at Arsenal, he was demanding the football, demanding that you passed in the football so he can do what he does and score goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were saying the block, don't do that.
Yeah. I was going to just come in and say what you just said there is absolutely right. I mean, the thing about with Ian Wright, he wore his heart on his sleeve. You know what I mean? The tussles that he's had with your keepers.
He still does, no?
He still does.
He does.
But the tussles that he's had with your keepers, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is that you rightly say about Glock. I think is that Glock has come to this club, big club, Arsenal, and you know, there's he's come with all the reputation of scoring goals and whatever, and you know, you'd think that if he had the I'm not saying he hasn't got the mentality, but maybe just shy, because a lot of times when you see lots of shots where our attackers, whether it's Martinelli or Trossard or Sacco's not really playing well, he's always cutting back. There's never a ball across the 8-yard area. You know what I mean? It's just literally cut back. He makes these runs, and after a while you get tired. Now he needs to demand the ball more. Like if he does that, I don't know. I just don't know. I think just the way football is. I think somebody said, just thinking about the problem with football today. You know, the coaches are trying to reinvent the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. They all think they got the cheat code.
But this is what I said to you earlier, guys. I don't want a hippie manager for that reason, because he'll come in and try and reinvent the game again, like we've seen with Ten Hag. Yeah, I'm done with the hippie managers. Get me a serious manager to come to a big club and get us dominating back in Europe and in the Premier League. That's it.
Not only that, overall.
I know Gianni would want Carlo Ancelotti. Yeah,
that's why I want for Arsenal. That's why I want for Arsenal.
Yeah. Right? He will let us go and play. He will just let us go and play football. He will just let us do. He's a man manager. Just look what he did with Real Madrid. He's the one that can get you around the arms. Just go out, do your stuff. So the thing with us, we have got good players, but it's just the system and the way Arteta's set up. He goes into games not to lose. That you know, you sit there and you just watch the ball go from Raya to Saliba. It goes back to Gabriel. It goes back to them. It's just like, how are we going to get this ball forward?
Not only that. The other big indictment is that the big teams now think like they're a smaller team with this whole development and everything else. Yeah. This is also the reason why the Premier League still hasn't hit the same level that the Serie A was back in the day, even though they're trying to get there. Inter, Milan, Juve, what did they always do? They want a player, they went out and spent the money and bought the good player because they knew where they rank in the world as one of the big teams. When you got Arsenal, Manchester United, not only going away from what the theory, the DNA of the club is, and then you want to, we're going to go get a development player. Well, what do you mean development? We're two of the three biggest teams in England and two of the three biggest teams in Europe, but we want to act like Brighton. What the hell is this?
Yeah, that's why I didn't want. That's why I didn't want Sesko. I didn't want Sesko because we've gone past that stage of, you know, the money that we spent over the 6 years that we've been going for this title, the last 3 years. Possibly we could end up, you know, going for the quad, of second place again. I want. That's why I don't think our Arteta can deal with ready-made players, because that's what we want. You got a ready-made Eze, he just doesn't know how to work with him. You got a ready-made Glock, he can't work with. He wants guys that are going to be yes men. So when Odegaard come, that's why Odegaard is a man after his own heart, because he can, you know, he can deal with him how he wants. That's why he's the captain.
That's why.
So people are gonna. I mean, when he came in, look at the characters that he got rid of. Can you imagine if we had those guys now? Do you know what I'm sort of saying? So a lot of it is he dictates everything. I don't think he's Mr. Arsenal, but he controls a lot. He controls a lot of the narrative around it, and everything's about him. Anything that he says and pushes out as his press conference, all the top gooners latch onto it. Do you know what I mean? That is just simply the narrative.
You do know that if he wins the title this year, he gets a new 5-6 year contract, right?
That's
we know that.
That's what we're dreading. Trust me, that's what we're dreading.
Because the worry is for me that if he does win the title, okay, I think he will keep these said players.
Yep.
When we need a complete overhaul.
Yep. We need at least 10 players out. Arsenal.
Man United did it all the time. When you won titles, you change every so often. You change your coaching staff and you change you brought in new to freshen up. I can see.
He always did that
because that's what freshen it up. You continue to make the team better when you win, because the standard is there now. When you're going out to go and buy a player to add, when Manchester United added a player, they knew what they were walking into that locker room. that not only were you going to fight for the starting 11, but you were even fighting for a spot on the bench, because if you weren't good enough, Ferguson will give you a slap. Say, listen, man, shape up or you're out of here. The problem is too many of the fans nowadays are just too blinded. And I always say this, the problem is a lot of these fan bases forgot that the crest and the badge on the front is more important than the name on the back. That's where a lot of these fans have got this screwed
100%.
Badge is way more important than what's on the name on the back. And it's just, in general, again, it just goes into, like I said, all the big teams, especially, it just seems like it's in England that it's like they all want to modify the club to act like a Brighton. And it's like, bro, Liverpool is Liverpool. United is United. Arsenal is Arsenal. You guys you have the big money. We're in the biggest league in the world. You should be going out and having a world-class 11 like the old Milan, Inter, and Juve's used to be. Not this nonsense. These clubs should not be in the phase of development. If you want to develop, you develop your youth. And if the youth doesn't work, you sell them for the profit and go get another star player to add to your team. That's how it should be if you're a big team.
And the thing is, if you look at what Arteta's doing with our youth, do you know what I mean? He's ended up sending Ethan out on loan. The way he's treating Miles Lewis-Skelly last season. Do you know what I mean? And the only reason why he got into the side, guys, is because we haven't got a proper left back yet. Yeah, we have not got a proper left back. Right, so they were all injured, and he goes, well, because he's a midfielder. That's what Miles Lewis-Skelly is. He's a midfielder. He brought him in. He said that was his route into the team as a thing. He's used him. He done well. He played well for that season. Then he started to drop off. He ended up in the scored in his debut for England, got into the England side and all of that. This season, a no-go, no show, pretty much. You know what I mean? He will only use him as and when he needs him. Ethan Manuel, we could do with Ethan Manuel now. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And so the youth under Mikel Arteta, for my thing, doesn't really develop. But there's that whole thing of what you're talking about, Gianni, about why we got this mentality of always trying to, develop. We're not a team that's trying to develop. We should be just adding. You know what I mean? Because if you start with a young team that plays together, it was like the old Man United side. When you had that class of 90, whatever it was, and then you just added. You remember the famous words of his Anson when he said that you can't win anything with kids. You can't win anything with kids. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, listen, you got to remember, it's Fergie. You're talking about Fergie. Yeah, he was the manager, and he knew how to manage this side. And look, you guys, 13 Premier Leagues later, you know what I mean? So. And we got free. We you know what I mean? And this whole thing of this 6-year thing, project processes and all of that is coming there. That's what you're hearing now. When will the process bang? That's the question. When is this year is the process needs to bang. And if he doesn't win, I'm telling you, if he don't win the Champions League or the Premier League, I don't think. Right.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he's going to win.
We've opened the door too often to Man City. When we had the chance, we could have been 12 points. We could have gone into that Wolves game. That Tottenham game. Listen, okay, look, we've done it. But I'm trying to say, all those games that we could have gone into with a nice 10 or 12 point cushion, you go in there, you can utilize your squad better. You can say, right, I can play for that game. I can rest you. The problem is that he overplays the players that he's got. Right, and they're all running on fumes right now. Declan Rice is running on fumes. Timber, for the last 3-4 games, the reason why he's playing bad is because he's actually mentally fatigued and he's absolutely tired. The last game, all right, he took him off. He took him off in the Tottenham game. You know what I mean, giving the ball, passing the ball, and in the Wolves game, just giving the ball away. Nonchalant. You're thinking, what are you doing? Took him off, brought on Mosquera. I thought he's a decent buy, 13 mil. Done a job over there. But we just, I think I think he's suspended for the Chelsea game, isn't he?
Who, Mosquera or Timber?
No, for Timber, because I think he got his 5th yellow card.
I think he is suspended for
that. I think he's suspended. But we got a lot of our players that are currently running on fumes. And then you look at Man City, you've got players coming through and how Peppers rotate them and they're fresh. You got the guy.
They're vulnerable though, Normski. They're vulnerable, man.
I'm not going to say I mean,
but I think defensively this team is not great, Man City team, and I think this is why I think Arsenal though need to win the Premier League this year, because the Premier League won't be as weak as it is this year.
No, that's it. I don't think. Absolutely. I think this is probably our last chance
Yeah, you've got to win.
Our biggest chance of winning the Premier League. You know what I mean? We've
But
spent,
if we lose,
out of 150 plus days, 100 and I don't know what it is up at the top, which is ridiculous. So this will be the most momentous bottling job that we've done compared to the 22-23 season.
And well, according to Keown, it's wrong to call you bottlers. It's not nice.
No. Martin Keown's a disgrace.
He's an absolute disgracious. He's a disgracious.
Martin Keown lost all credibility when he tried comparing Odegaard to Liam Brady. He lost all credibility with that one, just off of that. But the problem is that not only that, but next year we're going to have to spend again because we're going to have to keep up. Because if we go, because the worrisome that I have is if Arteta wins the Premier League, let's say we give the benefit of the doubt, because I think whoever wins the League Cup final wins the Premier League. If City come in and they beat us in the League Cup, I think the mentality will be gone for us and we'll end up coughing up the league and City gets that double. If we get the double, you still have to go out and improve because our left wingers are garbage. All three of our left wingers are garbage. That needs a revampment. Eze needs to be the permanent starting 10, but now you need to possibly look at as a backup for him, even though we got the kids like Lewis Skelly, Dowman, and Wanyeri all have to be a part of the squad next year. They all have to be a part of our squad. But then, has Zubimendi really done anything to convince people that he's the full-time starting 8? Because
it should be, as I said, I think Zubimendi, we talked about this, that he should be played more
8.
As 8 more, you know, in an advanced role, because I think as a 6, when he's under pressure and he gets pressed a couple of times, he's been done. I think it was the Wolves. It was the Man United game, and there was another game. I think we was winning that game. That was at home where he gave the ball away and Richarlison chipped Ray, who was off his line as usual. Do you know what I mean? So there's games where when he's pressed, when he's back to goal, he can't perform. I think he's better played advanced, just like what we did with Granit Xhaka in that 22. He's Mikel said, right, okay, you're too vulnerable in our outside our box, moved him forward, and probably had one of his best games, you know, for Arsenal that season. But then you're obviously, you know, injuries, and then we ended up, you know, we should have bought, and we didn't buy, and we ended up fielding Holding, who scored a consolation goal at Man City. That tells the story. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So the owners should have really, if we could have won that league, if the owners had spent then. But now you look back there now, and we're catching up, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And now, you know, we've spent this season 280 million. I don't know,
250, 260,
60 mil, right? You add that to his total spend of 1.3 billion. And we could end up, you know, coming second again for a fourth time. That is just not good enough. You know,
I say this all the time. Even more of a reason why I can't stand Arteta and what we've been doing is we're the only team trying to do everything ass backwards. Any team, when you go through the history of football, any team that spent $1 billion, they were winning trophies along with it. We're the only team that has spent $1 billion and still talking about what if, buts, and maybes. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it's a disgrace.
So this is the remaining fixtures for the title running. We've played a game more. So I think the game at hand will be the Crystal Palace game, because of the Carabao Cup, and that Carabao Cup, by the way, is absolutely monumental. You know what I mean? We have to win that, because if we lose that, things could go south. You know what I mean? Things could go south. So these are the remaining fixtures. We have more home games than Man City. We've got, I think, looking at that, I think 6 home games and 4 away games. So obviously our next game is Chelsea at home this weekend. You know, they lost obviously to Burnley. Sorry, not lost, drew to Burnley with a last minute equaliser. And they face us at the Emirates. As Gianni said, we cannot go into that team changing that side. We have to go with Eze in that 10, and he has to be starting. I don't want to see him mucking about with the side. I just leave it as it is, and guide that game. Some people are saying that there's a chance that he could end up putting Odegaard back in there. I hope he doesn't, because if he does that, we're finished. Do you know what I'm saying? So
he'll put Odegaard back in. If he's fit, he's
that's what I'm saying. He's just going to hit the reset button as we know him to do. And when something is working, just leave it alone.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you say, Joe? Was it you, Joe? You were saying something about?
I just want to know if Odegaard gets the start, right? What more does Eze have to do to be the full? Eze's has been one of the best number 10s in the Premier League for the last 2-3 years before he even got to Arsenal.
That's right.
Odegaard's been going down the drain for the last 18 months, going on 2 years. Common sense would tell you Eze should have walked in and been the starting 10. Who cares if Odegaard's the captain?
Yeah, you don't pay £67 million. You know, he spent 67 million pounds. I mean, listen, it's not his. Some people say it's not his buy, and the fact that he scores that hat trick.
But then sits for what, 5 games?
Yeah,
he scored a hat trick against Spurs.
He ends up he shoehorns Odegaard back into the Aston Villa game, okay, and he puts Eze out on the left. You know, obviously a mistake was made by him, and then you didn't see him for 5-6 games. It might even be more. It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? And what must Eze be thinking? And just say, you play a good game. What must you be thinking? Like, I know people after the Tottenham game, you know, they embraced and all of that. And I'm thinking to myself, come on, man. Like, you know, people saying, oh, there's nothing, they haven't got no problems with each other. Like, listen, he's got to, if his manager just comes to hug him, you just hug him. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to push him away, are you, in front of the camera? But you can't, it's right evident in front of your eyes, the way he's treating these players. Ethan, as I said, he's had to end up going on loan. And he's got Havertz, who was out for how long, has come back, not even properly fit, and starts. He doesn't start. He sits him on the bench and takes Ethan Monterey out the squad. And this is how my guy operates, man. Do you know what I'm saying? But looking at that, guys, this running, who has the more favourable running? And you take into account, obviously, home games, and Man City have more away games in their running. What we saying? What does Dow says?
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe it could be Arsenal. I don't know. It looks pretty even.
Yeah. Because obviously City still got to play Chelsea.
And they got a lot of away games, actually, don't they?
Yeah,
they got more.
Chelsea,
they got more
Arsenal, and Villa that are all in the top 6. So they've still got to play 3 of the top 6. You've still got, and you've got a Bournemouth and Brentford in there, which are potential banana skins as well. You know what I mean? Everyone else, I mean, okay, West Ham, Burnley, like away to Everton, another dogfight. You know what I mean? Even though they haven't been that great, they've been better away from the new stadium. Than
they haven't really done too well. They haven't really done too well.
But I think City having to play three of the top 6 there in Chelsea, Arsenal, and Villa, and then teams scrambling not to go down. You know what I mean?
Actually, Chelsea and Villa are not in great form.
No, but they're still in top 6 though, Jay.
They are.
Thereabouts. Yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so if you look at Arsenal's running, so Chelsea at home, all right, Brighton away is going to be difficult.
I think you're going to drop points against Chelsea.
Okay, draw.
And if you draw,
away to Brighton, you know,
if you draw, it goes right back into City's hands.
It's still in City's hands now.
That's what I'm trying to say. Remember, they've got a game in hand.
Yeah, but
we're in the driving seat. We're in the driving seat
because you got the points, right? You got 2 points ahead of them, even with the game in hand. So what I'm saying is, if you give that up,
yeah,
absolutely, that's true.
I think it'll be a hard fought win at home to Chelsea. I think where the problem is for me is the Brighton game.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say that, no, because those Brighton strikers are hitting a better form.
Danny Welbeck, mate, he just keeps
Danny,
scoring.
Man, that Danny.
He always scores
again.
He scored again, yeah.
I think he loves Man United more than Arsenal. as well. Daddy, you know what I mean? So
he's a Manchester lad. He's a Man United.
He's a Man United lad.
Loves scoring against you guys when he
understands the rivalry. He understands
the
back in the day Arsenal Man United rivalry. So he won't be looking to do you guys any favors.
I'm sure he played in that. I'm sure he played in that game when we got slapped 8-2.
He did play that game, I think. Yeah, I think he came. Did he come?
I remember. That was terrible, man.
The worry for both. The worry for us is that the problem with Arsenal is we play down to the competition.
Yeah.
When it's a better team, we raise our game. When it's a lower team, we bring our game down.
That's why, Gianni. That's why the Wolves game. I mean, come on, you're 2-0 up.
The worst team in Premier League history as it stands right now, and we figure out a way to screw that up.
We give them another point. You know what I mean? They probably will beat the Derby, record. But I mean, how can you be 2-0 up? And it's just like we just drop back, and it's like, what are we doing here?
Terrible result. Terrible.
And the bigger worry with that was they gave the blueprint to some of these teams on how to play us.
Exactly.
Again, when that big striker got brought on, that 6'7" guy in the second half, every time he got the ball, he said, look, Timber's the tired one. Let's attack Timber. All the attacks came down the right-hand side because Timber was the walking wounded in that game. And the worry is with this, Newcastle, even though it's at home, Newcastle's still not that far off. I think they're only 5 or 6 points off the 7th spot. So they're still going to be playing for Europe.
And then West Ham, you got West Ham who's fighting for their lives.
Exactly. That's the
problem. Away. Do you know what I mean?
That's the worry.
That's a tough
we should beat Burnley. We should beat Burnley at home. Crystal Palace.
What happened with Chelsea? If we played down to Burnley, they could do the same thing what they did to Chelsea with us.
Chelsea. I mean, they've dropped 17 points from winning positions. You know what I mean? And Liam Mousinho's come out and said, obviously he was not happy. Throwing away those games.
They need to keep 11 men on the field. That's what they need to do.
That's the problem is because I think that's their 6th or 7th yellow card, red card that they picked up. So their discipline with that team is just ridiculous. And I mean, look, Fofana got sent off, and the old Rossonio racism reared its head again. The abuse that he got online, it's still there, guys. It's still there. In this day and age, in this modern football, but listen, this is, when you're on social media, you've got the keyboard warriors that can hide behind the keyboards,
exactly,
and do what they need to do. But I mean, it's just ridiculous. Cowards. Let's call them absolute cowards. But I mean, it's going to be close. But I think that Carabao Cup final
decides it all.
Decides it all. I think that Carabao Cup final will decide it. I just want Arsenal in this. As I'm not an Arteta fan. You know that, JP. You've tried to convince me, as he's trying to convince me, but bro, listen, it ain't happening for me, bro. It just ain't happening for me. And
do you know what it is? Do you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask the question just quickly.
Yeah.
Let me ask the quick question, all of you. Do you have to like your manager if you want the club to win? Do you have to like him? As long as the club is winning, do you have to like him personally? Like, I can go into work with somebody and say, listen, I can put up with you. I don't like your nonsense. I can put up with you. Why is it that why people have to impose their views and say, we must have to like our manager?
Nomsky.
When we say we don't like it.
I think you're right. Because what I actually think happens in modern day football, they go the other way. People get so invested in the manager, they forget that how many times in our fan base were the fans split? Because even now you're getting fans telling us it was wrong to sack Amorim.
Still.
Are you serious?
Yeah, people are still saying that nonsense.
Because they get obsessed with a manager.
Right.
When really, actually, even with Amorim, there's nothing to be obsessed about because the results told you everything. We don't win football. The man turned us into bloody Stoke. Right?
Exactly.
We're
Stoke on a Monday night, JP.
How can we go and be playing the worst team in Premier League history in Wolves? At that point, they hadn't won a single game, and your team talk is about how we need to change to accommodate them.
Yeah, he lost the plot.
You lost the dressing room at that point.
Yeah.
I hate the whole talk about team talk. Again, that's that American nonsense. If you play for Arsenal, Liverpool, or Manchester United, there should be no need for a team talk. You wearing that badge should be enough talk in your head that your game has to be top level every game. Yep. I'm so sick of hearing this nonsense with that. And it just did. And to what you said, Norms, no, I hate Conte. I hate Conte at Napoli. Napoli has been beautiful attacking football since we've started our whole project, since we've come back out of being bankrupt. He came in, yes. I thank Conte for winning the Scudetto last year, but look, it went against what we've been trying to do, and this year it's come back and bit him, and we look garbage. And there's even talk of us falling out of the Champions League places for Napoli, which would be detrimental with the amount of money we've spent for Conte. So no, you can still
please don't fall out, because then you might send Hoyland back.
Oh, we need to send him back either way.
Please stay in the champ. Please stay in the
Champions League. That's painful.
You might send the guy back, man. You know what? No, to the point, to answer the question, you do not need to like your manager. The point I always make, Joe, so you get the context of what I always say to Norman, right? Yeah. I understand the frustration of the Arsenal fans, because I've seen, what's happened to you over the years. I guess the point I'm always making is very difficult as an outsider listening to Arsenal fans complaining when you were top of every league. You were top of the Champions League. You were top of the Premiership. You were in every other competition. I'm saying complain at the end of the season or when you're getting knocked out of competitions. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, complain then. Because at the moment, when, like, for us other fans, they're like, well, I get it. Like, everything could be better. But the reality is, if you win, who cares?
Yeah. You know what it is, Dave? I think it's just, this journey that we've been on with this manager. I think what it is just that I think it's our attitude, how he treats the players. And I think how he's conned.
I'm not as close to it as that. I don't
but that's what I'm trying to say. So
for
us, that's where the annoyance comes, because what we are asking for is that season after season, we want to win and we've dropped off every time, or there's an excuse or whatever. So we're heard enough of the excuse. Look, what I would say is this, right? When we've won games, I've praised him. I've not gone, you're absolutely useless, you're absolutely this, you're absolutely that. I've praised him when he's done a good job. I
haven't heard it, by the way, but anyway.
It's been that few and far between.
I haven't heard it.
Oh, man, we do to me. No, if you watch my match reactions, I said, well done, Mikel Arteta. You've done the thing. I don't, if he does bad, then I'm going to go at him. You know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
It's simple as that. But I don't have to.
That's football. That's football.
People have a problem. People have a problem when we say we don't like the manager and that we are this and we got an agenda and all of that. We ain't got no agenda. The whole point is that I want to win the Premier League. It's been 22 years. Right,
but
we go again another season. I'm sorry, man, because right from the very offset, we brought in a novice where we shouldn't have. This is where it all stems from.
Yeah, I agree.
I've said this in the last point.
Yeah, go on. But my point is, though, Normski, I guess, is from when I listen to Arsenal.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, we think where we are. What you're going through, I think it's what you're going through. Yeah, in terms of
that too.
You're going, well, hang on a minute. Look what we're going through. Like, blah, blah. You're at top of the league. Yeah, great. We are top of the league, but the problem is that we've seen this story again. Yeah, we've seen it again. If somebody writes a book, the ending is always going to be the same.
Yep.
Yeah, but people want to change the ending. People want to change the ending to suit their narrative. And when it does, work out the way it should do, they then throw context into it. They throw excuses into it and all of that. And that's where the
fan base is, though, Norm. So I get it. And I know there's a split fan base. And I think most of our big clubs, when you're not doing what we feel our club should be doing, you do see split fan bases, right?
Yeah.
But I guess from an outsider looking in, I sometimes think with Arsenal fans, get behind the team to try and win and get over the line. Because what it always feels like is the moment something bad happens, they're on it. Like, it's like they're waiting for that bad thing to happen to just get on it. And it doesn't feel like you get behind. It doesn't feel like you get behind the team. You're just ready to point the finger at the team. And I don't think that will help the team get over the line.
So Take the Wolves game, for instance. Yeah. Me and Gianna like, emoji face.
No, I hear it because it's a multitude of things. Because one, I hear it when it's saying you guys are on top of everything. Part of the other problem is we have the loudest fan base, but nothing to show for it. That's also a part of the problem. Why people look at Arsenal the way that it is. But to go back up what Normski's saying is we back the team. It's just we back the team, but we're cautious because we know what's happening is the same rinse and repeat. Nothing has changed from 22-23. The only thing that's different post 22-23 is we haven't played anywhere near as good as football as what we did in 22-23. That's the reason why we're in this way, is because we know, okay, Arsenal are, like what the top gooners say, Arsenal didn't lose until the Liverpool game at the beginning of the season. We had this undefeated record against the Big Six. Well, if you got an undefeated record against the Big Six, why are we always doing this defensive, pragmatic nonsense playing down to the lesser teams and those are teams that always kill us? Like, again, if you have this unbelievable unbeaten record against the top six, why is it that Villa, Brighton, Newcastle, that next tier down who we should be beating is always the problem? And that's why it's always like we've seen this before. We get our hopes up. Once the hope, it comes, the eclipse, the lunar eclipse comes right back. You know what I mean?
I get that, Johnny. I do understand it. Go on, Dave.
The game against City is at the Etihad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, he can't go there and play for a point then. How about that? He can't go there and play for a point.
He may try to do that, and we get killed for it.
That's the thing.
I think because if you go into that game and the points gap is the same, so you're 2 points ahead, he's definitely not trying to win that game. He's going to try not to lose.
So JP, ends our frustration. I'm sure if the boot was on the shoe was on the other foot, you would be going, hang on a minute, come on, man. Stop it, you know what I mean? You spent all this money, you've got all these quality players in there. Because I tell you, any other manager with this set of players, we go on and win the league. We would have won the league a long time.
Because if you look at Pep, if that's not the Emirate, Pep is coming to win that game. He's not coming for a point. I think that's the difference.
He doesn't go for points. I think that's
the difference.
And D, you've watched Italian football. How many times have you seen in Italian football where a team goes there for the point and they can't get out of the mindset for that and they lose the game because they gave up the first goal?
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
You go into that game where he's playing for the point to be like, oh, we're going this to get a draw. We're going to stink this out, maintain the lead, and then we're going to hope. Because that's the other problem as well. How is it, again, you look at Fergie, you look at Liverpool, you look at City, the teams that have won. They don't rely on the other teams to help them out. They go out and do the business. Arsenal's the only team that spent $1 billion, and we're still talking about, we need them to do us a job. We need these guys to do a job. We're so bad to the point that that fans were rooting for Spurs to do a job. That's the problem at the end of the day.
And you know that's only going to lead to disappointment.
Exactly.
It's the story of my life, man. The story of my life.
Someone said to me this week, right? And I thought, wow, that's a good statement. They said all the teams at the bottom, they're not great teams, but what they all have in common is they all fight. They all make it difficult to beat them, apart from Spurs. Spurs
bro. I was watching the Big Six, yeah. And they were having this similar conversation. I don't know if that's where you got it from, but I was watching it.
No, someone told it. Someone said it to me.
Yeah. Well, so what they're basically saying is that when Spurs played us, they didn't show no fight. You look at Burnley, you look at Wolves, right? You look at Nottingham Forest. They're fighting.
Yeah, they all fight.
They're fighting, and that's where
West Ham. They all fight.
They all fight. So it's like. That's why it's known as 3 Point Lane. You're losing 8 games you've lost, 24 points you've dropped. Yeah, 12 games you've lost in total.
Do you guys think they're going down?
Yes,
we said it at the start.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
Okay.
I think it's between.
I think they'll be all right. I think they'll be all right.
You think they'll be all right?
I
think who survives? Who's your? Obviously, it's going to be Burnley and Wolverhampton. So who joins them? Is it Nottingham Forest?
I'd love I'd love Nottingham Forest to go down, but I would love West Ham to go down too, because I don't like after what the players did when they drew against Man United, right? And they're all videoing each other's cutting hair. I'm thinking,
that foolishness. That was wild.
One, you didn't even win the game.
Right.
Number two, you're in the relegation zone.
Football's got to,
You're in the relegation zone. How the hell is players trying to troll you?
But you know what this is? This is
because social media is more important.
This is the modern. Listen, this is the modern game.
100%.
It's the modern game. It's the modern fans. It's social media, because you can bet your bottom dollar. Yeah, you go back to mid 2000s and then go back that way. Yeah.
Oh,
none of the man is accepting that.
No,
you go into our dressing room. You go into our dressing rooms, and a man did that in our dressing room. He's mashed up. He's
getting fists up.
Ferdinand Vidic, all them boys are smacking that.
Adams, and Vieira. What were they going to say to one of these young youths? You didn't even win the game.
That man's going to get grip up, man.
You see, what it is, these modern players, they wouldn't be able to handle the likes of Fergie.
No, they can't do it.
Too sensitive.
You have to speak nicely. They start crying.
You know, Wenger just used to come in the room. He used to just come into the dressing room and not say anything. He just walk in, right? And you know your parents, right, when they just come in.
Yeah.
You know when you're in trouble, right? And they just come in, they sit down. Yeah, and you're thinking, I got away with it.
You know what? There was the thing.
They goes, oh, that was what you did about 4 weeks ago.
Like, because you know what? There was this thing about Fergie. Like, you know, they got the big tactic board in the dressing room. Apparently, like, if we had a stinker, he would walk in, just wipe the tactic board clean and just walk out again. Everyone be just like, yo, trading's gonna be wild. We're done. There's no hair dry treatment. Just wipes the board and just walks out the changing room. Just like, brother.
I mean, that's so famous. If it's not
psychologically,
if it's not the hair dryer,
he's letting you know.
It's the football book, man. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
He's like, I wrote all this and none of you adhered to it. So I was just going to wipe it down and not even say nothing about the loss and just walk out the changing room.
And now what we've got is people going in the changing room, and going, light bulb, wallets.
Right.
Playing the Anfield anthem.
Or videoing each other doing dance moves and all that foolishness. Can I just say a random fact that I heard today, right? Which I just thought was amazing. Apparently, in the Scottish Premier League, right, no other team has won the championship since Alex Ferguson's Aberdeen, apart from obviously Rangers and Celtic.
Yep, exactly.
Not only that, listen to this one. Since Ferguson beat Real Madrid in the European Cup final with Aberdeen, Real Madrid have never lost the European Cup final.
Yep.
Now, let me tell you this now, right? People want to tell me that this guy weren't great.
No, didn't they lose to Ajax? Early 80s Ajax?
I don't think so. Let's have a look.
I think it was old Ajax might have been the only other team that beat them. I think Aberdeen and Ajax were the two that beat them.
What it is just
to your point, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, to your point. But on that point about comparing these modern managers to like Wenger and Graham, stop it, man. Stop it. But that's what you get. And that's why you got these tapped out fans that just haven't got a Scooby-Doo when it comes to football. Because when we sat down, we watched with our eyes. We watched with our eyes. We didn't have no XG or fuel tilt, you know what I mean, or this tilt, or whatever. We just saw with our eyes, and they just base everything on stats and whatever.
Yeah, that's the way the game is now.
And it's the worst thing ever. And it's the worst thing ever because we've gotten rid of one of the best positions that we all appreciated was the old school number 10, the Maverick. You don't have that no more. One of the things that a lot of these kids, because everything is about stats, they forget the dribblers, the guys that could take 2-3 men on, and
that's why they don't do it. That's why they don't do it.
And to that point, they forget that the pass that leads to the assist is just as important as the assist. That's why all the system stuff is terrible now.
Yeah. So you got a lot of stat padding. That's what you say. You got a lot of stat padding. So what you got? You got stat padders that are world class in what they do. Stat padders in world class what they do. But as a clear footballer with footballing skills, right? Leave it to them, man. Back in the day, yeah. Because a lot of these players there wouldn't get into some of the teams there. What's the guy's name? I said it on. I can't remember which show I said it on. What's it? Ali McCoy, yeah. I mean, I think you heard this one, Gianni. Ali McCoy said, right, that this is the strongest squad. Arsenal's the strongest squad he's seen in Premier League history.
Wow.
What?
Do you think that this current squad that we got is the strongest squad that he's seen in Premier League history? What are we doing here?
Nah.
And the problem is these people will latch onto that and go, well, yeah, see. So you know what will happen? You know what will happen is if we don't make the Premier League, they will say, right, context. We finished top. We got to possibly a quarterfinal of the Champions League or semi-final. We've been told that we are the best team in the world. Arteta. No, here's a good one for you, Jay. The last game, Keith Andrews, was it Keith Andrews at Brentford? Was it Brentford game, Gianni, where Keith Andrews texted him? Was it Keith Andrews?
That was the Wolves game.
The Wolves game.
Keith Andrews texted who? Sorry,
Arteta.
I said what?
Claimed that Keith Andrews texted him and that we're still the best team in Europe. He's one of the best coaches and all that same old nonsense.
And he said this in his press conference. He said, "I would rather listen to that."
He's
just like the PSG. Remember the PSG? Remember the PSG? He goes, when we lost that semi-final, he said, I was walking past on the bench. Their bench said that,
we're the best team in the world.
We're the best team in the world.
And then their coach came back on and said, nah, he
did this. He came and went, no.
Yeah. Is that no?
Honestly, the guy, see, that's why I don't like it. I get that. I do get that because
now you understand, Jay.
That's an absolute joke. That's it.
Gianni, I think he understands now. He now understands why we don't like the manager.
That's why I can't stand. I do a show. I do my regular stuff, but I do a show where I have people come on, and my show's called the 11 you would pay to see.
Oh yes,
because this is what I have a problem with. Is again, the Mavericks and everybody else have been phased out of the game. And the problem is to like what you were saying, Jay, now because the Mavericks are out, everybody just wants to be enamored with these managers. And it's like, brother, these guys ain't doing nothing special.
Yeah. But it's these modern day people we're bamboozled by, and we saw Amin was a great talker. But actually, when you analyze the things he said a lot of crap.
He wasn't great.
Right? A lot of some crazy thing.
He actually got nicknamed the poet, didn't he, Joe, in the end?
Yeah, people are bamboozled by words. And what
it's like Arteta. That's what Arteta does.
Arteta too.
That's what he does. You listen to his press conference.
Bamboozled with words. We cross over, right? So we can talk about football from the 90s up till now, right?
There we go. You read this one.
Locatelli, I just saw it on my phone.
People tell us that we're old. People are just telling us that we're old, right? But it's like for me with basketball. People want to tell me that LeBron James is the best basketball player ever to walk the planet.
Nope.
But
I'm from Chicago. Jordan's the best.
like it's not to me. It's not even close. Yeah. It's not even a debate.
Yeah. He's not. LeBron's not even better than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What are we doing?
Come on,
what are we doing?
What we doing it? But see, these youngsters have only ever seen.
That's the problem.
LeBron.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I've had that conversation so often with nephews that now follow basketball because of me.
Yeah. Same thing.
And they said, D, I don't know about you and your Jordan 1, bro. I said, brother, I own a pair of LeBrons that I don't wear. I got a pair of LeBron 16s, them collectors ones. Right? I wear my Jordans because my chest is high.
Who wears LeBrons in this country? Listen, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't walk into a shop in England and find a pair of LeBrons. Nobody's interested.
Exactly.
No.
Right.
Right.
No one's interested.
Right.
You find more people.
It's always been, I want to be like Mike.
Hardaway is more than.
Remember that one, Jay? I want to be like Mike.
Right. That's just. I want to be like everyone. Want to be like Mike.
Right. Even when we played,
LeBron wants to be like Mike.
Clutching the ball in one hand.
LeBron wears his number. LeBron couldn't come out with his own film. He had to copy Michael's film. I don't understand.
The whole thing's embarrassing, isn't it? It's like, come on, man.
If you're the greatest, create your own lane.
Yeah. No,
everybody's scared. Everybody's scared of being their own person nowadays. Everybody wants to.
It's like robots, man. It's everybody. It's like robots, man. There's no person. You're thinking in football now. You rarely get personalities now. Very rare. Really? Just everybody's just like, you know what I mean.
The managers, and that's why the managers get rid of them.
Yeah.
If you had this team, if you had Aubameyang still on the team for 22-23, we would already won the Premier League. But he couldn't handle the personality.
Couldn't handle him.
That's why he got rid of him.
And that all came out in the documentary. You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, the way he treated him, the way.
Did you see Troops? Did you see when Troops was taught when Troops was still with Barstool? He talked about it. The whole reason how he ostracized him was Aubameyang was 20 minutes late to training, flying back from Spain, checking on his mom who was going through breast cancer. I'm sorry, man. There's outside of them being athletes, and yes, they're highly paid athletes to play football, but they're also humans. They're also if anybody should be given leeway, if a parent or a close relative's going through cancer, they live a different country, you're going to check on them. The guy's a guaranteed bagsman either way. If he's 20 minutes late, now you don't make that the standard across the board for just you could be late 20 minutes for anything, but certain things you have to give some leeway, and that's another reason why I don't like this fucking manager.
Sorry, do you remember Big D when? I think it was Cristiano Ronaldo. He was at United, and his dad was dying. And Man United were going for the title and the Champions League. And Fergie said to him, "Just go and come back when you're ready."
Yeah.
They're
proper man managers. They're proper. They understand. You know what I mean? They're proper man managers. You know what I'm trying to say?
And it's about managing characters as well.
Yeah,
it's about managing. Like if you go back to Chicago Bulls, right? Dennis Rodman used to go to Vegas and blow off steam. Mark had lose his mind, and the coach said, "Mike, it's Dennis. This is how he operates. Don't worry about the game. He's gonna go there. He might even snort something, a little bit of Charlie." Have a couple of lap dances, lose $500,000 in the casino, come back and pull 25 rebounds.
I perform.
25 rebounds and 7 blocks shots. So you handle the characters how the characters are. Everybody else just stays in line. But because if you look about it with Cantona, Fergie didn't overanalyze Cantona, you know. And the season Cantona got banned for the Kung Fu kick, which was a wild. I actually loved the Kung Fu kick. I thought it was brilliant personally. It didn't deserve a ban, but hey, that's football.
What you say about? Did he say something about his mum or something? Was it?
His mum.
I called her a friend something. I thought he called her.
But that's the season he got banned. We win that league with Cantona playing, and it was that special that Ferguson didn't even want to coach him. He just let him play. Because he knew what to do on the pitch. So there's certain players where, like you say, that Aubameyang, you just treat him differently.
But what do they say in American football? You don't treat them all the same, but you treat them all fairly. You don't treat everyone the same because everyone's characters and personalities. Even in Fergie's days, what did he say? The only player who never got the hair treatment, all the players say, was Paul Scholes. Right? Fergie probably identified he was too sensitive for it. If I want him to go out there and perform and do whatever, I can't treat him like I treat Ryan Giggs. They said Fergie.
You got to understand. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. You got to understand each. Yeah, every player's gonna have some kind of personality and that. But it's just like he just wants to just grab them all one go. You will all now be robots.
These young players now, they haven't gone through,
and they're too sensitive as well.
They don't go through what all these like all the players that we grew up loving and watched. Right? What did they all start off as in the youth team? They had to go and clean the first team players' boots.
You know that ones.
Right. These guys now clean what boot? You're asking a 15-year-old. He's telling you, I want 30 grand a week about clean boots.
Yeah, cleaning boots. Yeah. No,
that's where they're going now.
Yeah, and not only that, the players of the other generation dealt with tough times. The new generation, when they see tough times approaching, they'll instantly put in a transfer request to go to a different team.
Just to run.
If it doesn't go all their way, they don't want nothing to do with it, which is also a problem because that's not how life works. Life throws you curveballs and it sucks, but you got to deal with it.
That's it. Yeah, no, 100%. And it's a mentality thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Mentality thing, and a lot of these just ain't got it. And even these modern day managers definitely ain't got it. Definitely ain't got it. The best managers.
Who's that young kid we bought from you? Striker.
Oh,
Chino.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about him. I don't think he's gonna make it, right? Because I don't like his attitude sometimes when I hear the things that he says.
Okay.
And I also think.
What about the Aiden guy? What about the Aiden guy?
He seems like.
Is it Aiden or Aiden?
Aiden Heaven. He seems all right. He seems all right. He seems like he's got good attitude.
But did you see what he did? Did you see what he did in the 2-week break where we didn't play football? Him and Euro went to Dubai and just went for it. They just trained like beasts in that heat.
Right.
And I went, that's what I wanted to see. Yeah, he
didn't
fly to America to go watch basketball outside. He went and did strength training.
Or the other thing is didn't do what Luke Shaw did, go to Burger King and ate
right, and just ate himself silly for 2 weeks.
No. Come on, man.
I'll tell you, that reflected in our game, Jay.
Luke got a plant burger, man.
I'm just saying that reflected in that performance. You saw those that worked on their trade and those that thought, yeah, man, I'm having 2 weeks off here. Well, at least 8 days off before thinking about football. And it's the middle of the season. You got to stay connected. You know what I mean? It's like saying, oh, I'm going to the All-Star game, so I'm just going to drink champagne for the whole weekend, knowing that on Monday night or Tuesday night, I'm playing again, full game of basketball. You still got to put yourself in check as a professional athlete. And I like that them kids went to a warmer country and did proper warm climate training and strength endurance and stuff. And I'm like, they're young kids and they could just say, right, I'm going to party. But they're like, nah, man, we want to get Champions League. So, and to be fair, that Aiden Heaven, he's not getting much game time, but he's staying ready. I thought Lenny was a little bit nervous that first 15 minutes, and then he settled down with Harry, and I thought he had a good game. Both of them just getting
the ball away. I thought Harry had a good game. I thought Harry had a good game. I didn't think Lenny did. I like Lenny. I thought he kept giving the ball away. He was driving me around the bench.
No, for the first 20 minutes, I think he was shocking. I thought he got it better as the game. Because remember, he's nervous because he got benched. And he was right to get benched because
he was right to get benched.
Absolutely, So we knew coming back after Martinez had played so well that straight away the spotlight's back on him. And I think we forget how young these kids are as well, you know?
Yeah, they're 100%.
You know what I mean?
And you know what, to be honest, it's a good show of confidence from the manager in him because really, under the old manager, it was Heaven that was getting the...
Yes, that's true. Getting a lot, What's this, Man City avoiding the red card?
Okay,
so Man City avoid everything. They get my blood.
I just want to bring this last thing up before we finish. Now, the thing is, top gooners will look at goes, no, it's conspiracy. Because normally ref watch right now. There's been since this there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 situations here. So if we go back to December, August. James Trafford raced off his line. I don't know if you remember out of his era before handling the ball. I remember that one. And then collided with it, and he got away with it. I couldn't believe that. He got away with it. Now, I'm not saying that's the reason why they've caught us up or anything like that. I'm just thinking, I'm more looking about the PGMOL and how they deal with these incidents, You got December the 27th, Ruben Diaz avoided a second yellow card after tripping Nottingham Forest striker Igor Jesus. That was a clear yellow card. Didn't get the second. Lynch has brought up. Bring up the Lynch. Brought up the Foden should have been sent off for a horrible tackle the other day. You've got and that was against Calvin Bassey in the Fulham game. You've got Rodri, who should have been penalised for 2 fouls, and that he should have got a second yellow card in that game. He got away with it. I think they ended up taking him off. Phil Foden should have that. And then the last one, Bernard Silva barges into Dan Burn while on the yellow card, but is not sent off. So all of these are sending off. But they've got away with it. Dan
Burn should run a bloody football pitch, man. I can't stand Dan Burn.
Let me just say that. This is not the reason why Arsenal are going to give up the Premier League. So let me just tell you that this is not.
And plus, we just got away with Gabby.
That's right, exactly. Because look at the Gabby one, right?
But I think he was being shot.
He thought he was being shot.
But Norsky, I think if we're honest, we've all got. We
We've
could
all
all
done
have a list like
Well,
that. We could all have a list like that.
Of course.
Listen, I'm Italian. I was proud of that acting performance. We're the He deserved an Oscar. He deserved an Academy Award for that acting job. He got that gold disallowed.
That was good. No, I mean, listen, you got away. I mean, that's 2-2. Could have been a different game. You know, so listen, I looked there, I thought, well, we got away with it. I'll take that. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes that's what happens. You know what I'm trying to say? That sometimes that's what happens. But just quickly, yeah, Totti v Australia. Let's go here. This is this is our the what's going on
Fantasy League. Right. So let me dive in here quick, Norm. So our top scorer this week was a guy in 20th spot with 72 points, Steve Barr.
Right.
We still got Del Grady just cruising at the top there. Yeah. Second place is still nowhere near.
She dropped.
She stayed at 10th. So she's still in the top 10 finish. So she's above me. She's below Andy. Our only climber is Andy. Man like Chile, climbing to 5th. So he fancies a shot at the title. I am 12th, as you can see. Ez dropped to 17th. Where is?
Oh wow! I think that's because of Baby Julie. That's Baby Julie.
Oh yeah, and then Kofi. Where is Kofi anyway? Kofi still in the top 4. Yeah, so he's still on the Champions League with Andy, looking to make a difference there. So yeah, I mean the thing is we have a blank game week coming up and a double game week coming up soon. So this is where using your chips is going to be key. So I'm looking to try and make some ground on that while I'm trying to preserve my chips. Even
so who's sitting in last place? Is it 20? Who's sitting in last
25th is a guy called Frank Whalen. His team just called T. Yeah, he's in 25th.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah, he's well off the place.
Where's Ola? Where's Ola?
Ola.
Right, we
11th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So just behind Malcolm X by 2 points. Yeah, man. So
okay.
Yeah, man. Still all to play for, Norm. Still Del Grady the man to catch.
Okay.
At the end of the day.
And our prediction league table, guys.
Wow.
Right, Big D, you stretched it a bit. You got you. I noticed that Chile keeps going for Man City now. Yeah,
he does.
Exactly. He keeps going for Man City. He went for the game week 28. Man City, so obviously the predictions there, but I've dropped to 3rd. I've dropped to 4th. At one time I was sitting top of the table. Gianni, I was sitting top of the table, mate, and now I'm sitting 4th.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
I know you're coming. Listen,
I need to get some threes. That's all I need to get, some exact scores, and I'm coming.
So what it is, right?
It's so hard to get now, JP, in this.
So Gianni, right? So Jay knows he's due for forfeit from last season's one, yeah, because he was terrible. And you know why he's terrible, Gianni? Because he kept going for Man United.
I only picked my team.
I
only picked my team to win, Gianni.
If you look at the form,
it don't matter who we play. I just say we're going to win.
Look at JP's form.
But if you look at the form, he's got the best form. JP's got the best form in the last 5.
Yeah.
Because just one red and all blues.
Do you remember that one time I got so fed up with Emery and I said, right, I'm not picking them again. Right?
Yeah.
And in the next game they win.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was crazy. I remember, Jay. We were just like, nah, you're getting mugged off here.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going for games, and the home team that I thought would win it, in the last couple I've lost.
Well, that's what I've been doing, Norm. I've been going for home games the last 4 or 5. And
so I've dropped that to 4th.
It's only Ez and myself that pick our team to win every game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every
now and again, Chile does jump in there and try and nick.
Well, the thing is, what it is, Jay, I just decided to let you have United, and so for me, I'm making it hard for myself because I'm picking all of the rest. I'm leaving Chelsea alone. I'm leaving United alone. I'm sort of leaving. I think I've picked Liverpool once this season. You know what I mean? Arsenal once.
If there's a possibility that I see Jay sort of rising up the table, I might have to just jump in there and pick up my name.
No, man.
Just put it by United win. You know what to do.
I'm not doing the double forfeit. That's why.
We're still trying to figure out what we should do for you, Jay.
I'm happy to do it from last year. I finished last.
I know. But the thing is, we said about you wearing an Arsenal shirt, and you said not on your Nelly.
No, because you'd have to say that before the season starts. If you finish last, you have to wear like that hated team.
Well, I'll tell you what will happen is that at the end of this season, I will go into the chat and I'll ask the chat what do they think. I think it's only fair that I ask the community what they think they should have last season. And there's a good chance that you could. I think the way you're going, I think you could be out of that. You could be out of there.
I'm coming out.
I think you're looking. I mean, you're looking for that 3 points.
I am.
You're looking for that 3 points. So you know what I mean.
And then there's the form. Would the form guide then take me above? If Ez and I are on the same point, is it the form guide that takes me above?
Yeah. So we've been formed. I have to just remind my son, just make sure that's what he does, because a couple of times it's happened and Big D has complained.
Look at my form. I'm getting mugged off by my godson here. I'm getting mugged off. I ain't having it.
No. Listen, everybody, listen, I really appreciate everybody coming on tonight. Big up to Big D. Big up to Gianni, man. Making his debut on my channel, you know what I mean?
Appreciate
and let the F-bomb off, but you know what I mean, I forgive him.
Normally I'm a lot worse. I've been trying to
listen, I guarantee you, JP, go on. I'll tell you this now. Big D, JP, go and subscribe to Gianni TV.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna do it right now.
I'll get you guys. I'll get you all. All you guys on the channel, man. I think you guys would really like to do the who you would pay to 11. Because we've had some shouts. I had waffled on earlier. His team was unbelievable that he put together.
I watched a little bit of it, but I'm going to watch the rest of it when I get off, because I'm going to watch the rest of it when I get off. Who did he go for just quickly as he's 11?
He went Taffarel, the goalkeeper.
Right.
He went with Ashley Cole, Elder, Cannavaro, and Cafu. Back line. He went with Vieira. He went with Dimitri Payet. He went with Ruud Gullit. He went with Thierry Henry, Romario, and Hadji as his 11.
All right. Okay.
I used to love Hadji, in the World Cup. I think you know me, man. My team would be mostly Man United.
What I'll do, Gianni, just let me know, and I can just message JP or Big D when you want to get them on. I'm sure they will come on and grace you with their presence in terms of picking their best pick. It's really good. You know what I'm going to say? Once I've sorted out myself and whatever,
I got to get you on, Norms.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'm going to sit down, get my 11. You know what I mean? There's a couple of players in there that I do like from Waffle Don. You know what I mean? But it's so much to pull from. I don't even know if there'd be anybody from this modern day. I don't know.
That's what the whole thing is.
For me, it's going to be old school. I think it's going to be old school for me. You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
That's what
a lot of them are going to be Arsenal players. I'm not going to lie. I'll try and be fair. I'm going to look.
So will I.
But again, that's why I say that's what the show's all about. Too many of these young kids nowadays don't know what ball is. What we're watching is more athletes.
Just the things. Just go. I mean, we've got all the search engines. Go and read up on it. There's nothing wrong. Just because you wasn't born in that era, you can go. But you've got the things there to go and watch them. Sit down. I think I subscribe to a channel that shows all the old school football. Like, you know what I mean? So I just click on it. You know what I mean? Just to kind of, because as you get older, you forget. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's good. But I'll tell you one thing about Gianni. I don't know how he remembers him and Shane. How they remember dates? It's just beyond me. I remember certain things. I'm like, bro, listen, you know what I mean? I have to write all my stuff down, man, for me to remember. You know what I'm saying? But now, bring up to you every time. Gianni, what you got coming up?
I got a Champions League review and call-in show. Once the games are over today, we'll go over that. We'll preview Arsenal Chelsea, and then I am in talks with the Encyclopedia Kenny Ken to get him on for the who you would build 11. That one's going to be rough.
That's going to be epic. That one is
Kenny Ken is cool.
He's like a bro. I thought that guy. He's another one because they did the off topic with Shane, and when you guys are on, tune in and listen to you guys, man.
My favorite. That's my favorite show on YouTube. Is Off Topic.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, some really good stuff there. And I know JP hasn't got his channel yet, and I know Big D ain't got the channel. But I thank you very much for coming on our channel.
No worries, man.
Podcast panel. Really appreciate it. And
if you're ever in Chicago, let me know. If you're ever in Chicago,
it's on the list. I never say bucket list because I'm not trying to die, so it's on my wish list.
You ain't got to worry about that with me. You ain't got to worry.
When you go to Gianni, when you go to Gianni's pad, man, he might just like he did on Lee's show the other night. don't bring out to that. Hey, the man.
Yeah. I think I'll have to come in the summer though, because I know your winters are brutal.
Yeah,
I was seeing my guys over in New Jersey shoveling snow, and it was mad snow, you know.
My sister was over there.
They get the snow, we get the cold. This year we had 3 straight. This year we had 10 or 12 days straight. I don't know what it is in Celsius, but it was negative 35 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nah, not me, bro. That's a lot.
Don't come here in the wintertime. Summertime,
yeah.
Wintertime, nah, man.
No, we have to do something like that still. You know,
man, the search is insane.
Appreciate it for coming on. Big up to the chat for staying with us.
Big up, man.
Been a long show. Didn't realize how long we'd be going. 2 hours 27. But listen, great football chat. You know what I mean? And it's great to have a guest on. And I think that's something that I probably will do. Like with our panel show to start bring on random guests and that. So Johnny, I'm sure you will be definitely back on again. I really appreciate you coming on that, and we appreciate it. But bring up to everybody, bring up to the chats, please. Smash the like button, subscribe and share. If you are new, as I said, on that road to 1K, it is a bit of a journey, but we will get there, people. Listen, take care. God bless. We'll see you next week.